and there all your stories can be. If you didn't know what was happening in the UK or around the globe, all you need to do is to go there. How many of you know that there's a Kenyan Ready Football Club? How many know? Yep, they are playing today, isn't it? Where are they playing? In Stoke-on-Trent. And if you go to the Kenyan diaspora media, you will be able to see that your team is playing there. You also know that there are Swahili lessons for diaspora kids.
Recording in progress.
If you knew that, the facilitator is the Kenyan diaspora. Obviously, the sponsors, the major sponsor for the Swahili lesson is Centum Real Estate. So we are able to do these community projects, not only because we have the ideas or not only because we work with Centum, but because you guys are there and they give the stories. We've had amazing stories from kids who are reciting stories. We have had amazing stories about Kenyans who go and spend time with the king. We have had lots and lots of stories, and all these stories are not told out. There is the monster called the certificate of sponsorship. You've heard about that. Today, there was a video where one of Kenyan lawyer who is based in the UK was talking about it. Where do you get that information? Okay. The Kenyan diaspora. So TKDM is supposed to be your partner. You should be reading that news from there, but also see what we do. One thing that I'll say, and then I sit and perhaps maybe ask Kalima to top up, is we do due diligence for you. So that when you come to Reading and introduce a company or a product, we have done due diligence and therefore you are comfortable to invest in. We partner, I think, in Reading here, not only with Kenny, Mary Gatu is here, amongst other people that we have worked together so they know exactly what the Kenyan diaspora media wants to do. Where is Chair Peter Mwangi? We work with Chair Peter Mwangi, particularly Swahili lessons and other things. Bishop, obviously, we were there when she was being made the bishop, so witnessed, we told the story. So that's exactly what we are about. So if you have stories, please do reach out to me or Halima or the girls in white, and tomorrow the world will know about you. So I think this is the reason why TKDM is there. Not only to tell the stories, or they are here, but also to ensure that you guys get the gist of Kenya. So, and Centum is one of the gist. So that's why we are here representing them. They are online and they will be able to talk at the right time. So perhaps maybe allow Halima to say something, because I know you have not told me to speak for 2 minutes. I'm semi-politician, so I can go. Halima, thanks.
Let's give him a round of applause. Just before Halima comes in, I just want to do some few. We have not been made aware of any fire drill. If you hear the fire alarm, run. Fire drills have been told that we don't have any fire in this place. Toilets, if you go to where the reception is, where you register your car, before you even continue, have you registered your car at the reception? If you haven't done so, please do so, otherwise you'll get tickets. So if you need to use the toilets, both male and female, reception area where you register your car, don't go through the glass doors, get out, turn left, and it's all signed posted there. Thank you very much. So now, without further much ado, I want to welcome Halima from Centum. Let's give her a hand of applause.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you. Third time in Reading. My name is Halima. I'm Halima Ahmed, and I'm really grateful to be here. I'm part of TKDM, the Kenyan, not Kenya, but Kenyan diaspora media. We are the very bold, in red, credible, and timeless. We are there for you anytime, whatever the time. We had, like Dr. Anata said, call us in the middle of the night, we will wake up. Call us during the day, we will wake up for you. Call us in the afternoon, we will be there to be able to write that story you're saying you want to tell. And please, I just want to add one thing. Sometimes when you see these spotlight stories or somebody being interviewed for something, you think they have to be someone, they have to be a bishop. No, you don't have to just be bishop. Just be you, be the mother, be the woman in Reading that does something small, something big, something in between. That's what we want to know, because that's what the diaspora is about. It's not just about I belong somewhere. You belong, you're a Kenyan, and that's all we want. Just the fact that you're Kenyan, come and tell your story. Bring your Kenyan friends also, because they're also part of it. If there's a relationship there, the story is worth writing. So I'm not going to repeat what Dr. Lagat said about us and being here, working in the community, but I'm just going to talk about our relationship with Centum. Centum and the Kenyan diaspora media, quite a very strong and beautiful relationship. And in this manner, like we have said, we are here to connect you. We are here to connect ourselves to Kenya and Kenya to us. So Kenya Diaspora Media, Dr. Langat has already mentioned us doing our due diligence, but you also have to do the same due diligence. So we go to Kenya, we find the companies, we look out who has the best portfolio. Is it affordable? Is it for all people? Because there are some portfolios, some of them, when you look at them, Kimberly can't afford it. So we want something that Kimberly can afford. We want something that somebody who's beyond Professor Langat can afford. So there's something for everyone. And that's how our relationship, that's one of the places our relationship with Centum begins. Affordability and a span, the span across the country, because I think there's somebody here in Reading who has properties in Nairobi. They also have properties in Mombasa, because I think logically, he's from a community that's from the coast. So he wants somewhere near home, and he also wants somewhere in the city. So that's the kind of relationship. And next time you come, please don't miss out to bring in your neighbor who's from Uganda, because Centum happens to be the only company that covers East Africa. And that's something that's so beautiful, because we do know, it's the same with Kenya, you know. I know there's a Nyambura in politics in Tanzania. So it means we don't want to be held, you know, there's no barriers. And if there's no barriers for us to go and invest in those countries, in the same way, Centum is across, they're in Uganda, and they have these beautiful homes on the lakeside. On the lakeside, the only lake.
Tanzanians here as well.
Yes, you see, yeah. So that's the prospect. So next time, please bring the neighbor who's also from Uganda or from Tanzania, because there's something also for them. So, and that's it. But our relationship with Centum, once again, we were here with them. We started on a roadshow across the country. We started from Reading, London. We went to Leeds. And from there, we forged a very good relationship whereby, of course, trying to give your voices, telling Centum what the people in Reading or the people in the United Kingdom, what are they saying? They're talking about, if we want a product, we want it to be easy to connect with. And what I mean by easy, somebody here today asked, what banks do you use? What's the model of payment and all that? So we take that information and we take it to them. Then they go along and they work out a model that works for you. And because it's not for them, it's all about you. And remember, there's the Kenyan in Kenya and how that works for the Kenyan in Kenya. And there's how it works for the Kenyan in the diaspora. And not every diaspora is the same. The Kenyan in the UK, what works for us does not probably work for the Kenyans in the United States. So all that, ours is the in-between communication between you and Centum. And that's part of the relationship that we really love with them, because they are a listening partner. Besides being a listening partner, they're a partner that is willing to give back to the community. It's not all take. Imagine, Leo, you people are all buying houses. You know, Bishop has already spoken money into your hands. So we are going home with a house. And if you had one, let's go home with two. But most important is to know, while we are buying houses, Centum is also a willing partner to ask, what is it that we can do for these people that have also supported? Because this is a business relationship. It's not a just take. So they've invested in your children. Swahili lesson. Please, usiseme una watoto, there's the neighbor's children, there's the godchildren. Let's all have them all registered. It's free. All they need to do is attend. Not even the Zoom you pay for. It's all the relationship between Centum and TKDM makes that those Swahili lessons to work. And like we said, football. So please, it's important. At our mama, let's all go cheer our young men while they play this football, because Centum has been also, among other partners, they are doing this to make sure that, men also have a place. You know, women, we have so many connects, men, you need to be jealous. Our connects are too many, but sometimes the men are left behind because there's no connecting places, and Centum is working on that to know that there's a place where men can also connect. So to go on, I'm just going to hand over to the MC to carry on, but yeah, once again, Dr. Langa talked about TKDM, but where do you find us? Some people like TikTok, we're there. So please, yeah, tell us what is it you want to record on TikTok, that you want to go across the world because you don't have a TikTok page or just want to share with other Kenyans. Send it to us. We are willing to share it for you. On Facebook, we are there. Whatever you watch here today, whatever we are doing here today, some of us will be able to see snippets of it in TikTok, in Facebook, on X. You will be able to see it on YouTube. So there's no platform we are not covered. We are in every platform for the sake of the viewer and how they want to view whatever information they are getting. So thank you so much. And that's for us, relationship with Centum, and we'll go along just giving more information. And thanks again, Reading community, we can't thank you more. Kenny, your team, thank you so much. This is the third time you've invited us here. And anyway, let's forge that relationship. And whenever something is called out, just come along. Even if you've done it, bring someone along. It's home. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Halima, for that wonderful introduction. Now we now understand the relationship between TKDM and Centum. Just before we go to the next thing, for those who are coming in, again, welcome. And I'm kindly going to ask our youth chairman. Our youth? Are we all youth? Are you a youth?
Yeah.
Youth?
Yes.
Sweet 16. Age is just a number. So without further ado, let's welcome Ken Maura, the cowboy, the chairman of Sky Team. Here we go.
Thank you, Jeff. Again, chairman of Sky Team. Sky Team was George who came with that when we started the family funding, and he always reminded us that sky is the limit. And because many of them were youth, the energy they had, they made me believe that yes, we could. And yes, we have, because Redding, I said the other day, it has been a journey. I like when we get that excitement of where we are, but I've also said, let's not forget the journey that we've gone through. So it has been a journey. And I said, I'm proud because today, and we are proud because today, we are able to host people in Reading. This would not have happened some years ago, but I've said all this is courtesy of our unity. So I cannot thank you enough. That unity could be a breakthrough of someone. And I want you to, unlike many of us who had a very soft landing, there are those who had it rough when they came. And there's a friend of mine, Lucy, who says to me, you don't know anything when you came. You had a soft landing, and she goes further to say that I was breastfed, and I was breastfed because my wife took care of me from day one, which is very true. So, but there are people who go through very difficult times, or people who have gone through difficult times, and I still say even today there are people who are still going through the same. So when we make these things happen, when we make these community events, there's always someone in there who is blessed through that thing. And without much ado, and I don't want to take time, I want to call a good friend of mine, Ramon, to tell you his journey, why he's here, how we met, and you will find that it is always important to be that connection between people. Ramon, your time.
Years, and I'm a photographer. I do real estate photography, portraits, and club photography. Just that really.
How did you meet?
Yeah. How I met Ken.
Yes.
So Ken is a good friend to my mother here. So we've just been communicating.
Hello, ma'am.
So, if you don't mind, I'll pass the mic to.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's nice meeting you guys.
Thank you so much, Ramon. What Ken was trying to portray is that the events that we do hold, they bring people together from all corners of the United Kingdom, Reading especially. So again, thank you so much, Ken. You have been a pillar this youth community. As you can see, everybody here is a youth. Sweet 16s. Everybody's looking nice and fabulous. So carry on with the good work. You're doing a very brilliant job. Now to the real business. Are we ready? You have pen and paper there. If you have any questions, I would urge you to write it through as the next presenters present what they're presenting. It is very key because we'll have a Q&A session. So as the presentation is being done, jot down your piece of questions. So you have a pamphlet like this, right? You don't have to use it by yourself. You can just share the papers. There's pens. If you don't have a pen, please go by your hand. So whatever question that you have as the presentation is going along, we'll have that opportunity to ask the question. Is that clear? Are we ready for the next presentation? Without further ado, I'm going to ask Halima again to come forward, who is going to introduce us to the next speaker. Thank you so much, Halima.
Thank you ever so much. So the next speaker is going to be one of the most important people concerning this program. He's the CEO of Centum. He's not new to Reading. He has been to Reading. He was here in 2023. I think you remember Kenny. He came and visited and stayed in Reading for quite some time. And so he's going to be the one to start off. I just want
Umetoa wapi? Uwasema tumetupa kwa dustbin. Umetoa wapi?
Wow. Yeah. So we're going to have 2 or 3 people speaking to us from Centum. And the first person is going to be the CEO, and then we are going to have Mr. Martin Karaoke, who is the general manager of Bingo, one of their products. And then we're also going to have Mary Nyambura. Well, I'm going to add you exactly what he said.
Mina shanga.
One thing I like about them is their product knowledge. These people know their product very well. The other thing I really want to urge you to remember is that let's listen, let's write questions, write as much as you can. Product, what is the product? How much did he say it is? What are the issues? What is good? Whatever it is, just write it so that at the very end you have as many questions as possible and that you're so much informed. So without further ado, to the team in Nairobi, kabla mweke mtu kwa dustbin, tunataka kupata CEO wa Centum. Mr. Kembai, you're welcome. We're waiting on you.
Good evening.
Welcome, sir.
My name is Kenneth Mbaye. I'm here. So I'll take you through briefly through a presentation, and it's actually opening remarks, and it's centered around 2 books that we like. One is The Science of Getting Rich, which was written sometimes in 1910, and the other one is Psychology of Money, which was published in 2020. And those books have a 110-year gap, but the principles of making money have been the same for the last 2,000 years. And our real estate focus is basically on the same principles. I'll start with the diaspora, just to give context. My colleagues will present much more. But there was a survey done by the Central Bank of Kenya on your remittances. And on the charter 14B, the uses of this money, first is to buy land, build, then 2, to make mortgage payments. Then the third thing is to buy food. The 4th is expenses. but you can see 25% of the money sent is in investment in real estate. And secondary, up to 16% of the money you send is spent in mortgage repayment. So I can comfortably say 40% of the inflows that come to Kenya are sort of used around real estate. And maybe you know how you invest back home. Then this chart here, 13, figure 13 shows that these sums of money, 60% of them are spent on a monthly basis. The rest are sent irregularly, and others are sent on a weekly and quarterly basis. But every month, people remit monies back home for investment. And this investment, a sizable chunk of it is focused on real estate. And what that does, it creates passive income and creates your wealth and creates a legacy for your family. Now, we just got the statistics published for the last. Let me see if I can move this cursor. This data is from CBK. If you go to the Central Bank of Kenya, on their website, they have published up to February. What you can see is February. The bulk of the remittances come from America. In Feb, they remitted $215 million. Then Europe, and I'm speaking to the UK. So your remittance for the month of Feb was $25 million. No, even much more. It's like 25B. Then you can see on a steady from July all the way to where we are, there's been money remitted to Kenya for investment from the UK and other parts of the world. And that money, 20 to 40% of it ends up in real estate. So the first question is there a market? What's happening in the region? Can you make a decent return out of it? Can it create your generational wealth? And that's the foundation of what I want to speak to. I would encourage everyone to see if they can get these two books. They are really good for you and your future generation. So how does Kenya look like? There is a shortfall of 2 million homes. That's a pent-up demand across. It's driven by demographics. We have a huge population growth. We have rural-urban migration. Most of us end up in Nairobi and urban centers to look for job opportunities. There's a lot of businesses setting up in the region. There is also, just like you went to the UK to pursue greener pastures, urban centers are becoming a dominant area where people are moving to, and there is a lot of demand. So 9 in every 10 Nairobi residents are tenants, meaning if you have a nice home, you will most likely get a good tenant. The occupancies will be high and you'll get a good return on investment. So I won't go through these stories, but I've basically covered most of it. In summary, in Kenya, there's demand for housing. And while in the UK, and part of the monies you remit back home can be used for investment, you can consider prime neighborhoods that have a huge potential, that are highly desirable, and that are not far away from places of work. And because 9 in every 10 are tenants, then you have a possibility of getting rental income. When that rental income gets into your account, you can assign part of it to support your siblings or your families back home. And you also get a return while you're in the UK. Similarly, this property will appreciate in value throughout your ownership period. We're also looking around the countries. We are looking at Uganda. The population and the demographics are the same. The housing gap is 2.4 million homes. They are currently at their census last year. Their housing deficit, just like Kenya, is 2.4 million homes. The annual demand is 200,000. The supply is 60,000. So there is a huge opportunity in Uganda if you want to diversify from Kenya. We've also looked at the neighboring countries. Tanzania is the same. They have a population of 64 million people. The housing deficit is much higher than Kenya, 3 million. The supply is so limited because it's basically done by the National Housing Corporation. Rwanda, the same, there are 14.1 million people. The housing deficit is a half a million. The annual supply is 10,000 homes, so the gap is the same. DRC, here there is a lot of money to be made, a population of 115 million people. Housing demand of 1 million per year, supply of 150,000, housing gap of 6 million units. So combined across Kenya and across East Africa, we have a gap of 10 million homes. That will keep increasing. And across Africa, we have a deficit of 51 million people. In summary, there is demand for housing. And if you invest in housing, it's highly likely that you'll generate a return. And because you're in diaspora, the question is, how do you go about it? You can build while you're there, but the challenges could be high. You can partner with a developer like ourselves or any other, and you can identify neighborhoods, countries, towns, cities that you can develop on. Just to introduce our company, this is our project in Uganda. We have a successful track record of starting and completing projects. Investors who have bought homes with us are making from 25,000 all the way now to 500,000 shillings. Some of the houses are Two Rivers, the rent is 500,000. Some at Vipingo, it's 25,000. Some in Uganda, it's 200,000. You can create a portfolio of homes that generate to you. Between that, you can say, I want to make 1 million shillings in passive income, and you invest with us passively, and then that grows into the future. We've also gotten some recognition across the world for what we are doing. And the notable one is this one, Edge Africa's Champion, which means we are focused on sustainability. We've won some awards, but let me go to the most impactful one. For the investment we get, we've invested up to 120 million shillings in scholarships. Today, we educate 450 kids from underprivileged families who are within our project's locations. They score 350 marks and above. They are admitted to national school. They are not able to go. And part of our returns from residential and investments, we are able to educate them for a period of 4 years. This has really changed. And some of them now are working with us after even going to campus. Coastal region has a huge water problem. So we have a desalination plant, and we use this to supply water to the neighborhood. And we also create decent workspaces. So just impact and giving back to the community. I know I've spoken too much, but I wanted to set the stage for the discussion today. There is demand for housing. The supply has a huge shortage. If you're in a good neighborhood, it's highly unlikely you will not get a tenant, so you can get a decent return, and you can create passive wealth while you make a return and invest back home without a lot of headache and with a credible developer. Thank you. I wish to end the presentation there. Thank you for the opportunity, and thank you for listening to me.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kembai. That's great. You see what I was saying to you about Centum. It's not about just coming and telling you about a house. First of all, the stage has been set for you. What's the economical situation? What do you need to apply? What are the thoughts that you need to bring in? So with that, we are now going to, now you have your mindset. There's possibilities. There's money that can be made. And there's regions where you can make that money. And there are reasons why you should actually be making that money. So that's what Mr. Kembai has actually explained to us right now. And now we're going to hear from Mary Nyambura. Mary is going to talk to us about the actual places, houses where they are. Two Rivers, the Elma One apartments, Bingo City in Kilifi, Palm Marina in Uganda. So she's going to explain now the actual product, what it is, where it is, and what to expect from it. Over to you, Mary. Welcome.
Thank you so much. This is Mary Nyambura. I work at Centum Real Estate. and I'm super thrilled to be taking you through the perfect portfolio at Vipingo Development. But before I dive in, I would like to just pose a question. What does a perfect portfolio look like to you? You know, just think about it. What does a perfect portfolio look like to you? Is it maybe a set of assets that are working for you even when you're asleep? Is it maybe high returns or the stability? Well, at Centum Real Estate, we believe that a perfect portfolio isn't just about numbers. It's about investment that offer growth, security, and real value. And tonight we'll explore how real estate plays a crucial role in making this happen. So welcome, and let's dive into this. Well, as I was browsing my social media platforms recently, I bumped into this one and it caught my attention, and it reads, "My grandfather's hospital, Kimakia, in 1961 at Ramogi Studio, flexing on his new Yamaha, bought about refusing to buy 5,000 acres of land in Juja, saying he cannot live with hyenas." Well, you can only imagine the difference between now the person who, between these two people. It's vision, you know. And I also thought of this, you know, quote, "Dreamers and artists change the world while others face the change." You know, right now, this 5,000 acres of land in Juja is worth billions. And most probably, this bike is just a forgotten piece of metal somewhere. So tonight, are we going to be dreamers who invest, or the one who are going to face the change? No? Just think about it. Where do you want to be in future? Will you be the one who will be facing the change, or will be the one, you know, proudly saying that you're lucky you invested right now? Well, this is a city somewhere in the world. It is in 1985. And let me tell you how it, maybe someone can just think, where do you think this is, you know, in 1985? This is Dubai, you know, today. This is the building that we just saw, the Toyota building over here that we just saw. And this is now Dubai, barely 40 years later, 2025. This is how it looks like. And you can imagine those people who dared to invest at that particular time. How much are they earning right now? How much are they worth, you know? So are we going to dream, or are we going to say we can't live with hyenas? Then this is a town somewhere in Nairobi, now in Kenya. And this is in the year 2013. And this is Two Rivers, actually. You know, it was just a Napier grass plantation. And this is how Two Rivers turned out to be. This is how 2025, how Two Rivers development looks like in 2025. How about this? What do you think this turned out to be? You know, this was a sisal plantation. What do you think this turned out to be? And we'll find out as we continue with the presentation. So tonight we are going to answer three major questions: the who, that is about us; the why should you invest in real estate; and finally, the why, rather the where. So before we dive in, we truly understand maybe the strength of our investment portfolio. It's really important for us to look at the foundation, you know, our mother brand, Centum Real Estate. And Centum Real Estate isn't just a developer, it's a market leader in shaping the future of urban living in East Africa. We have over 57 years of experience and a solid asset base of 40 billion and a strong focus on green, affordable housing. We are basically redefining how people live, work, and invest. And this is just our portfolio. We have Palmarina in Entebbe, that is in Uganda, for those who want to explore the market outside Kenya. We have over 380 acres of land there. We also have the Two Rivers residences in Nairobi. We have 106 acres of land there. And also have Vipingo City in Kilifi on the coastal region. with over 10,200 acres of land. And success is best measured by recognition. And Centum Real Estate has been honored on a global scale for our commitment to excellence. In 2024 alone, we were able to secure 20 prestigious internationally recognized awards across 4 continents. And this reinforces our reputation for quality, innovation, and sustainability. And some of the highlights include the Superbrand Award for East Africa. We were recognized as the best real estate developer in Kenya. And also the international recognition from IFC, that is the, International Finance Corporation. So this does not highlight just our commitment to excellence, but also assures you as an investor, as a stakeholder, that you are partnering with a trusted industry leader. This is a funny person who had a haircut in a cheap barber shop. And it goes, when it goes wrong, if you get your hair done wrongly, it only takes a few weeks to go back or, to rectify that mistake. But when you invest in a wrong real estate agent or developer, it will take you years to recover from that mistake. So tonight, please let's be careful and also get to choose a trusted real estate developer. Well, we've been able to answer the who. I would like us to go through, the question why. Why real estate? Maybe someone will be asking, why should I just invest in real estate and not any other investment? Well, real estate isn't just an asset, it's the backbone of global wealth. And according to McKinsey, 2/3 of the world's net worth is stored in real estate, making it the most significant driver of generational wealth. And this research spanning major global economies highlights how property continues to shape financial stability and also investment trends. And in Kenya, Kenya is not left behind. We have Knight Frank, which recognizes it as a top real estate investment hotspot, standing alongside global leaders like France, Spain, and the UK. This underscores the immense potential within our market and also the opportunities available for all investors in Kenya. And I would like us to go through to listen to this video. And as we listen, it's really important for us to underscore the immense potential within our market and also the opportunities available for investors in Kenya and also in just generally in East Africa. So let's listen to this video.
I knew you were going to be good. I knew this was going to be good. Why do you like real estate?
I love real estate. And, real estate is just one thing that you know where your money is. That money's in the ground. So regardless of what's going on in the world, people are always going to need places to do business, places to live. They're always going to need places. So the more that you can achieve the buy or the ownership of these places, the more that you're always going to have revenue coming back to you. You're also putting yourself in a position to always go out and borrow or get, because I have these things to leverage. So the more that you, I guess you could say, the more that you get, the more that you can do. And, sometimes I think people think that it's a far-fetched goal to get. And it's not really. It's not that hard when you gain the understanding of it. The game of Monopoly is a real game. It's a real game. When you play Monopoly, the goal is to buy up as much property as you can and get people to pay you for that property when they land on it.
Rent.
Yes, the more you get, the more you get to do. Investing in real estate has never been better, than any other investment opportunity. Well, you've answered the question, why, but we still want to find out or to dig deeper into why real estate. Well, real estate, or rather wealth creation and preservation, how do we as Vipingo Development, as Centum Real Estate, enable you to build and to grow your wealth, enable you to even, to build your generational wealth? We are going to find out how we enable you do that. This is just a case study. We have Awali Estate, that is in Vipingo Development, where we have bungalows and also missionate. And a 3-bedroom bungalow plus DSQ in 2020, it was going for 13 million Kenyan shillings. And the current market price is at 16.6. That is a difference of 3.6 million in barely 5 years. You are just sitting somewhere, just relaxing, and an asset is working for you even when you're asleep, And also a 1-bedroom in Palm Ridge apartment that is also in Vipingo Development. It was going for 2 million in 2019, but currently it's going for 5 million. That's a 1-bedroom apartment. Let's have a look at Nairobi. We have Riverbank. A 1-bedroom in Riverbank in 2020, it was going for 15 million, and the current market price is at 17.4. You can actually see the capital appreciation in these properties. A 3-bedroom was going for 25 million, and it's currently going for 37 million. You see, this is how we enable, as Centum Real Estate, as Vipingo Development, this is how we enable you to build your wealth. And the second way that we enable you to build your wealth is through passive income. And passive income is the key to financial freedom, and our properties are just designed to deliver just that, with strong rental yields and diverse leasing options. Our investment enjoys stable returns in both local and foreign currency. We also accept USD. And the question is, how soon do you want to start earning effortlessly? Let's take a case study of Awali again. Awali, 3-bedroom monthly rate is 100,000 Kenyan shillings and a daily rate of 15,000 Kenyan shillings. So let's do a quick math and see how are we going to, get this income, this passive income through real estate. Let's assume we've invested in a 3-bedroom bungalow plus DSQ in Awali, where you get 15,000 per day as an Airbnb. We've put your unit as an Airbnb. So in assuming that on a bad month, you only get to be booked for 15 days. So how much is that? It's 15,000 Kenyan shillings by 15. You can take out your calculators and help me do this mathematics. So 15,000, you multiply by 15 days, you get 225,000. Now let's do away with our expenses, monthly expenses. We have, for instance, we'll definitely need internet. We do away with 3,000 Kenyan shillings. We'll also need someone, a cleaner, will be cleaning the house. That is about, let's say, 5,000, in a month. We'll also need electricity. Let's also we do away with 3,000 Kenyan shillings and maybe 1,500 shillings for water, You get, how much do you get for those who are helping me do this? I believe you get around 212,500. Let's also do away with the service charge in Awali. Service charge usually varies from one project to the other. So for Awali, the service charge is 10,500 per month. That service charge includes security, it includes garbage collection, backup generator, maintenance of the common areas, the swimming pool, and all that. So we do away with 10,500. How much do we get? We get 202,000. That is per month. That is now your net income. Let's multiply that by 12 and we see how much are we going to earn in 1 year. You get 2,424,000 Kenyan shillings. You're just seated somewhere again. You're resting somewhere. You're working on your other projects and development, and you get at the end of the year you get 2.4 million. Isn't that a great way of preserving wealth or building your wealth and generational wealth? And maybe you're wondering how just far where I'm in the UK, how will I be able to manage my property? We have a professional property management. They assist you with everything to do with property management, with management of your property, of your unit. So when it comes to that, you're well sorted. In terms of tenant sourcing, they do it for us in terms of tenant onboarding. When a tenant signs out, they ensure that the unit is left in the original condition and all that. So you don't have to worry. We'll be helping you with the management of your house because we got you covered. And that is also, we can also have a look at Riverbank. Riverbank currently, for those people who invested there, a picture there of Riverbank, they're earning a monthly rate of 150,000 for a 1-bedroom and a 3-bedroom for going for 250,000 Kenyan shillings on a monthly basis. That is in Nairobi, 2 Rivers. So the choice is ours, the choice is yours. Are you going to get, you keep on paying rent, or rather in this case, you just earn, from your salary and all that, or are you going to get you get paid rent, you grow your income through passive income, you grow your generational wealth. So think about it. Which one are we going to choose tonight? Now we've answered the question, why. We've also answered the question, who. And let's dive into the question, where. Well, in Centum Real Estate, we have Vipingo Development PLC, that is in Kilifi, in the coastal region. And here we have a number of properties that we offer, a number of, investment opportunities for everyone. And just to mention but a few features here, we have state-of-the-art amenities like the water desalination, 3 million liters water desalination plant. It supplies 3 million liters of water to all our developments on a daily basis. And this water is fresh. You don't have to worry about the salty water on the coast. You are well sorted as well. And the water is also potable. And by potable, I mean it's something that you can drink directly from the tap. So you don't have to worry about water. We also have high quality infrastructure. We have top security personnel from tribers that we do the training ourselves. We also have a police station nearby that they usually do every day. They usually do daily patrols to all our developments to ensure that there's enough security. And we also have the professionally managed, those people who manage, your properties. So you don't have to worry about who will be managing my property when I'm away. Let's look, how about accessibility? We are very accessible by air, land, and water. Like we are just 35 kilometers away from Mombasa. From the Moi International Airport, we're also 45 kilometers away. And from Mombasa Port, we are just also 45 kilometers away. So tell me, we also invested in green spaces. That is something that it's worth noting, that when you get to all our developments on the coast, you can just feeling the cooling effect of that place because of the green spaces, the trees and all that we've invested in. And some of the investment opportunities that we offer here, we have the 1255 Palm Ridge apartment, phase 2. Phase 1 is currently sold out. We had a number of total of 440 units there that are fully sold out, and we are currently selling phase 2 of plan projected to begin Q2. And here we have a number of portfolios from studios all the way to 3-bedroom units, starting from 2.45 to 8.9 million. And this is really ideal for investment, for those who want to put them as Airbnb and all that, and also for first-time buyers. We also have our Wali estate, that is phase 2 again. For phase 1, we had a total of 74 units, and we are yet to begin the phase 2. We are selling them off plan. Still, we are groundbreaking in Q2. Here we have a mixture of maisonets and also bungalows, starting from 16.6 for a 3-bedroom bungalow all the way to 23 million for, we have 3-bedroom bungalow and 3-bedroom maisonets and also a 4-bedroom maisonette. And all of them are en suite, and they are also sitting on an eighth of an acre. And some of the amenities that, we have green spaces. We also have the swimming pool. Like in Awali, we also have a clubhouse. If you have a party or you just like to have, you know, you don't want to disturb your neighbors, you can have it there on the clubhouse. We also have in phase 2, we'll be doing, this is phase 2, we'll be doing a tennis court, a mini basketball pitch, and also a football pitch in phase 2. So when it comes to even amenities like the swimming pool, everything is there for you. This is phase 2 of also Palm Ridge, phase 1. Phase 2, phase 1 was here. And then we also have phase 2, they will have different access points. And still on the residential, we have Kingswood Park. These are plots. And here we have a number of them, like the service residential plots, which is a controlled development where we give you 4 different typologies to choose from. You buy from an acre, from 3.3 Kenyan million shillings. Then you get to choose from the 4 different designs that we give to you. You know, so we don't want a situation whereby you set your retirement home, your maisonette or a bungalow, and your neighbor comes there next to you and they set up an apartment. No, we don't want that. That's why it's a controlled development, and we give you 4 different, you know, designs to choose from. It's also a gated community. You know, we've also invested in jogging tracks for those who love, you know, keeping fit. We got you covered. We have plenty, you know, enough jogging tracks and walkways. In terms of security, we have tribus, and we also have Kijipo police station that usually do the patrol, daily patrol to all our developments. And here you get up to 12 months payment plan. And also financing options are available from all the we've really partnered with a number of financial institutions, so you can get financed there. Apart from the Kingswood residential plots, we also have Kingswood residential bulk. Here, we are selling them as from 5 acres going for 50 million. That 1 acre is going for 10 million. So we are selling them as from 5 acres. This is ideal for you know, land buying companies, circles, and all that. If you are buying and you want to subdivide them and resell them, this is really ideal for such kind. We also have Kingswood residential village court. You are a number of, you know, friends. You have your friends, you know, you have 5 friends, you have 4 friends, and you want to just build your retirement home in the same vicinity. So you buy this 1 acre plot, and then you subdivide them amongst yourself, you know, from 23,100. For the lovers of space, we have the newest baby that we recently launched. We have Kingswood Platinum and also Kingswood Gold. Where for platinum, we have 1 acre for 20 million. This is for you, for one person, for an individual. It's not for subdivision. And we also have, if you feel like 1 acre is a lot, it's too much, you get Kingswood Gold, where we have half acres plots going for 10 million Kenyan shillings. And just to mention that all this that is Kingswood Park, we bring all amenities, they're serviced. We bring all the amenities like water. We have actually 2 water connections, that is from the borehole. We also have from the water desalination plant. We do electricity up to the boundary of your plot. We also do cable roads to the boundary of your plot as well. So in terms of servicing, everything is well sorted for you. It's just a matter of you paying for your plot and now, you know, beginning the construction. This is Kingswood. These are part of the people who have invested with us, and some are already living there, some are still doing the construction, and others are yet to break the ground. Well, we're done with the residential part. We also have the commercial plots, the commercial part of Vipingo development on the coastal region, located along the Malindi Mombasa highway. And here, if you have any business idea, you know, you want to put up a petrol station, you want to put up a hospital, any business idea that you can think of, this is the place to put it. We have first row, second row, and third row. We're currently sold out on the first row, and we are selling the second and the third row, 1 acre going for 10 million Kenyan shillings. And for all the plots, everything to do with plots, you get up to 12 months payment plan. This is just the map. We have the Mombasa Malindi Highway that is showing also the first row, the second row, and the third row. Really well master plan. You know, we have the commercial part, we have the residential part, and we also finally we have the industrial park. In the industrial park, we are subdivided into major zones. We have the general industrial plots where you can set up your industry. Like this one, this is a cashew nut industry that is there already. So here a plot, an acre is going for 15 million. We also have the special economic zone, and we all know, but we'll also go through it, the advantages of setting your industry in a special economic zone. We also have the export processing zone, also going for 15 Kenyan shillings for an acre. 15 million Kenyan shillings for an acre. So in December, during the Kilifi County International Investment Conference, we were awarded a special economic zone license for over 2,000 acres of land there in the Vipingo PLC. And some of the advantages of setting an industry in a special economic zone are, as I highlighted, we have the exemption in terms of the value-added tax, excess duty, and import duty. We also have the corporate tax. In a normal setup, in Kenya, we usually pay 30% of corporate tax, you know, when you set up a business or an industry and all that. But when you set your business or industry in a special economic zone, you get to pay 10% of corporate tax within the first year, 10 years of your, you know, when you set up your industry. And then in the subsequent 10 years, you pay 15%. And then now you start paying the 30% from the 21st year onwards. This, I'm so sure, I believe your business would have stabilized, you know, fully stabilized. So those are some of the advantages of setting an industry in a special economic zone, and you end up actually saving up to 40% on operational cost. This is just a master plan of the Vipingo Special Economic Zone. And here we have actually partnered with Arise. You can also Google them and see the kind of work that they've done in the world. So we've partnered with them. They're the ones who will be doing the infrastructure, everything to do with infrastructure. We have Arise who will be helping us with that. And I would just love us to go through this video and have a look, an idea of how Vipingo development looks like. Well, because of the technical issues, I'll be sharing this presentation with all of us. You can also basically this is the Vipingo development. This is a Wali, this one. that is a mini mall that we have in between. That on the first floor. There is an investment behind. Everything on air street, actually. Just 3 minutes away from our development. So we also have the Viping of it, of course. If you're a lover of, you love playing golf, place to be. So just about 25 minutes. Yes, and that's it for Vipingo development. We've seen what you have to offer over there. Let's have a look at Palmarina, that is in Uganda, Entebbe, and we offer the same amenities in terms of it's a gated community. We also have, high quality infrastructure. It's actually, we have a private beach facility there because it's along the Lake Victoria shores. We also have a professional management, who helps you in terms of managing your estate or your unit, even when you're far away from, Uganda. And some of the investment opportunities that we have there, we have mixtures of bungalows. We also have townhouses over there. We also have, villas. We have Kingswood plots like Vipingo development, and we sell them in US dollars. Don't worry, I'll be sharing this presentation with all of us. So we have the Nairobi and Two Rivers residences, and I'll tell us why am I saying Nairobi and Two Rivers residences? Well, some of the key amenities that we're offering similar to the Vipingo development, we also have in terms of jogging track. We have really invested in that for those who love keeping fit. We have also invested also in sustainable and green, as the CEO mentioned. We also have a world-class infrastructure here in, Rivers residences, and also offer a holistic lifestyle, where you can just live in the same vicinity. You can shop because you have a number of shopping centers there, where you can actually, play because we have a number of areas or another different investors who are there. So it's just an ideal environment where you can live, play, work and shop within the same vicinity. Really ideal for investors. And some of the investment opportunities that we offer there, we have in Nairobi and Two Rivers residences, we have Elma 1. Elma 1 is located in Kasarani. It's the only development that we have outside the Two Rivers. And we have, it's also very ideal for first-time investments, first-time buyers, and also for investments. We have from studios all the way to 2 bedrooms starting from 2.5 to 7.6 million. We also have Mzizi, part of the affordable housing that we have, also ideal for first-time buyers and investment. We have a number of typologies there, from junior 1 bed all the way to 2 bed, starting from 5.53. We also have Riverbank Apartments. This is phase 1. We are currently sold out in phase 1, and we are currently doing phase 2 off plan, selling phase 2 off plan, starting from 17.4 for a 1 bedroom to 37 million for a 3 bedroom. We also have Cascadia Apartments, also for ideal for mid-market segments. Starting from, we have a number of typologies as well, 1 bedroom all the way to 3 bedrooms, starting from 13.2 million. We also have our newest baby in town. This is Two Rivers duplexes. It's for the high-end segment, where we have a 3-bedroom duplex plus DSQ starting from 40 million Kenyan shillings. And we have the loft residences. This is also high-end segment, but we are fully sold out in this. A 4-bedroom plus duplex plus DSQ was going from 45 Kenyan shillings. That is it for Two Rivers. Let's see, why should we invest in Two Rivers? It's really important. Let us hear to what the Secretary General for the United Nations had to say. They are actually, refocusing. They are sending a number of their employees to Kenya, and there will be, lucky thing is that Two Rivers is along the blue diplomatic zone. So this is where most of them will be setting their offices. We also have a number of offices in Two Rivers. So let's listen to what he had to say.
The other thing that I would like to say is that one thing, yes, it is a bet that already was made and it will be intensified. We believe Nairobi is an excellent as an excellent location for our operations. Not only we have very good costs, but we have an excellent campus with excellent conditions to expand. And several agencies have moved entirely or part of their services and are preparing that movement to Nairobi. And we believe that in the context of the UN80, Nairobi is a location that I believe will be with enormous potential. And there is another reason to do it. Africa is our priority, and whatever we can do to invest from the UN point of view in the African continent is something that I believe it's our duty to do, even taking into account that for the UN itself, Africa is one of the priorities.
Yes, and definitely that means they will those employees who are being brought to Nairobi, they will definitely need housing. They will definitely need a place where they will be staying, and that is in Two Rivers, because even their offices is just a few meters away from Two Rivers development. So that is now the perfect portfolio for Two Rivers development, and the reason as to why you should actually invest there. Well, you're wondering maybe what is our sales process, having answered the 3 major questions that we had to answer tonight. Now, what is the sales process, So in terms of houses, both in Pearl Marina, in Two Rivers, and also in Vipingo Development PLC, we offer a flexible payment plan where you can choose monthly, quarterly, or semi-annual plans. And then you get to pay 10% while you sign the letter of offer, and then the subsequent 10% you pay while signing the sales agreement. And then the balance is paid for the ones that are, off-plan projects during the construction phase. And for the ones that are already there, that are already complete, you get up to 90 days to pay. That is essentially 3 months to pay for the 80% balance. And then for land, we have 10% while signing the letter of offer and reserving the piece of land. Then the 10%, subsequent 10% while signing the sales agreement, and the balance is spread across 12 months. You can choose your payment options, maybe monthly, quarterly, or semi-annually. And maybe for those who are wondering, how about when I don't have maybe the whole amount? You know, we got KMRC, that is the Kenya Mortgage Refinance Company, that enables you to get a mortgage. And the interest rate is actually a one-digit interest rate, that is 9.5%. It's the cheapest we have. And you get up to 25 years to pay for your mortgage loan. And it's very easy. You just get to identify your unit, you get that this offer letter from them. And then after that, you apply for your preferred, you apply for the mortgage in your preferred financial institution or even a SACCO. And then they will offer you, that the offer letter from their end. If it's a project, if it's an off-plan project, you get to pay the 10%, and then they will pay the 90% or 80% after the completion of that unit. If it's for a complete unit, they pay immediately, and you get to be paying them on a monthly basis. And I'll take us through how that happens. So for instance, you get to invest in a property worth 5 million, and you get to choose that you'll be paying for that unit for, let's say, about even 15 months, 15 years. So you will be paying 52,211 per month and you're already settled in your house if it's a complete unit, or maybe you're renting out that unit. And for off-plan projects, it's also essential because it's, you can pay the 10%, and then you just continue with the payment until the construction period is over, or until the handing over time is, that is between 12 to 15 months. That is what we usually take. After that, you can decide that you will pay now. The bank can now pay the remaining balance. You see? So there's no, penalty when you also pay earlier than maybe the initial. Maybe if you have decided to pay for 15 years, there's no penalty if you decide to pay or you complete the payment for your mortgage within 5 years or 10 years, because actually the interest rate is also on reducing balance. Yes, so the choice is ours. Are we going to be dreamers, or are we going to face the change? Are we going to decide, to build our generational wealth through real estate? Or are we going to be the ones who will be like, I wish I knew I would have invested earlier? And actually, for those who are going to, book tonight with us, we're going to give you 1% Easter discount on any project that you choose, be it land, any location that is in Vipingo, in Two Rivers, Nairobi, or even in Palmarina. And we're going to offer you free two-night stay at Awali, that is in Vipingo. And we're going to also, it's full board in terms of meal. So we got you covered. And you can get to choose when you'll be in Kenya to get this offer. You don't have to redeem it, actually. You don't have to be there immediately. But for the 1% Easter discount, you can unlock it tonight if you decide to purchase any property tonight. So if you would like to book anything, or if you have any question, or you'd like to maybe to be sent the virtual tours and all that, please feel free to reach out to me. My email is m.nyambura@centumre.co.ke. I repeat, my email is m.nyambura@centumre.co.ke. And my phone number, if you'd like to reach out to me even through WhatsApp, it's +254 741 518 984. +254 741 518 984. You can also reach out to us through our call center number. It's also there on the screen. And also, please feel free to scan the QR code to download the presentation if you'd like to go through it on a later day or, during your free time. Please feel free to download it so you can get to learn even more on what we offer to Centum Real Estate. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure taking you through this presentation, and I look forward to receiving you on this other end in Kenya. Thank you and have a great night.
Thank you very much, Mary Nambura. I think as part of the program, do we have any questions and answers? I will advise once I get notification from either Ken or Dr. Langat if they're ready for us for the dinner part, and then maybe we can come back and do the questions.
Let's do the Q&A.
Do the Q&A. All right, brilliant. All right, let's do the Q&A as quick as we can. Have we got any questions? Anyone? Any questions? I think for me, the first question would be, the properties that have been shown, are they freehold or leasehold? Is that a fair question?
Yeah.
We want to know if the properties are freehold or leasehold. So I don't know who is taking up the questions. Martin. Martin, if you're around.
Thank you. Please confirm you can hear me.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, so the properties you're selling, they are on leasehold title for 99 years. For Vipingo, the title is running from 2018, and for Two Rivers is running from 2012. Renewable at the expiry of the 99 years. And that is a law by the Kenyan government. Anytime you're undertaking commercial developments anywhere in Kenya, you cease giving freehold titles, you start giving leasehold titles. Freehold is reserved purely for agricultural purposes.
On the same question, when you buy the properties, when you're paying the monthly or the yearly amounts, does it account also on the price that you're paying every month towards obviously leasing the property, or is it a separate amount that is charged to the person buying the property? I don't know if my question was clear.
Come again on the question, it's not very audible.
All right, so when you buy a property, we understand it's leasehold, it's fair enough. So when you buy the property, the amount that is being shown, say for example, 15 million, do you have to pay an extra amount every month to cover the lease?
So you're asking if you pay the lease premium to the government during the period of the lease?
Yes.
So what you do is that through the service charge you pay, the management company of the project that you're buying will handle that in the back end for you. So once you pay the service charge for the estate that you invest in, the management company will handle all the land rents with the relevant government authorities.
Okay, thank you. Is that clear enough? Any other questions? All right, we'll start with this table. Please stand. Please.
Thank you. What are the plans to extension to Tanzania? Is there any plans?
Okay. I don't know if you got that. Are there any plans to extend to Tanzania?
Yeah, but not in the interim, but we have a Pan-African strategy. It's only that we can't assign a timeline during this meeting. But yes, we are looking at several opportunities to expand our Pan-African strategy.
So you haven't got any properties at the moment where if somebody is interested in Tanzania that they can always go for that avenue?
No.
There isn't?
No.
So there's no properties in Tanzania. All right, any other question? Any other question from this side? He's already buying properties already, so well done.
Thank you.
You stay home?
Please say the questions and you'll be
King? Yes, please. So King is taking questions from this side.
Yeah.
All right.
You can come near the laptop.
Come closer if you may, if you don't mind. Okay, I have a few questions. Yes, please.
You can come near here.
Closer. Just stand here so they can be able to hear you.
Next to the laptop.
Okay. Anyway, I have a few questions which I had anticipated when I was coming to this meeting. The first question is, if I want to buy a property in Kenya, and I don't want anybody to know. It's possible for you to handle from the buying phase mpaka nipate title deed. Na shamba iko ni yangu. Na nimetaka kuja Kenya, I don't want to do anything. Do you have anybody who's gonna do the whole transactions with the lawyers, the surveyors, everybody? That's the first question. The second question is,
Martin, did you hear that? You are muted.
You can repeat that question.
So come here. Don't disconnect.
Oh,
No, just come behind it.
oh, I have to.
Yeah.
Just behind it. Yeah, just behind it.
I'm asking if I want to buy land in Kenya and I don't want anybody to be involved. I don't want my family. Me peke yangu nikuja ninunue, just like you go to the supermarket and you buy bread and you go out. Is it possible for me to do the same thing with land in Kenya?
Of course. Martin.
Yeah.
So the question is, this gentleman is very rich. He wants to buy, but he doesn't want to travel all over.
Yes.
He wants to make you run around, do everything for him because he wants everything delivered to him like he would have Tesco deliver his shopping.
Yes.
So can he just send everything to you, the money, the signature, everything required, and you send him back his title or whatever documentation to prove he has the land or he has the house?
Yes, that's it. You got it.
Yes, that is doable, and some plans have been able to do that. So whatever is payable to the government will go through our vendors. We give it to our vendors lawyers. We'll be able to handle all the transactions with the government. And yes, you can just send you the ownership document, the lease title at the end of the process.
Okay. You happy with that answer?
Yeah.
So come closer.
Everyone else is happy to know that, yeah?
Yes.
Thank you. Good.
Yeah, and another thing I want to ask you. Let's say I want to buy property, and let's say it's 10 million, and I buy installments. But in 5 years' time, yeah, something happens and I cannot be able to complete the
sale.
Is there anything? Can I sell the property, or can you guys help me to sort it out?
Or is there insurance?
Yes.
We have insurance.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. Or maybe if I buy with my wife and we get divorced.
All right, that's a very valid question.
Yeah.
So Martin, did you get that question?
You can repeat it for me, Halima.
Okay, so in this instance, this very rich gentleman, he's very invested a lot. So what he's asking is, so now this time round he has invested, and along the investment, God forbid, something health problem has come in and he's no longer viable to be able to pay that mortgage. What would happen? Is there insurance to complete the mortgage for him, or can he sell that property so that maybe he gets some money back and he doesn't have to continue with the payments because he's now ailing and cannot? Or in the instance of they bought the property as him and his wife, na saa kumeenda vibaya, wife amepanga amerudi Nyeri, yeye amerudi Mombasa.
Tuone wabaya.
Okay. So yeah, I got the question. So
Ando wabaya.
so in the event you buy the property and you cannot see the sales process to the end, there are options you can take. Option number one is you can resell it to other people, even when it's still under construction. Number two, you can transfer to another property that is of a lesser value. Let's say you're buying a property worth 10 million and you've paid up to 5 million. You can transfer to another property within our portfolio that is equivalent to that amount, or at least is nearer that amount, so that you still own a property, but in a different project, still within our portfolio. Option number three, you can cancel the sale and the reimbursement is refunded. When you take the offer letter from us and the sales agreement, it outlines and it foresees all those possibilities. So it has outlined in terms of if you are the one in default, what are the options for you? The cancel, you lose 10%, you get the balance of the money. And it also covers you in case this other side, we have not fulfilled our end of bargain. So yes, there are options to go around it, and you can make the best decision at that point.
You're the one, Leo, you were asking about.
Come closer.
Come closer.
You're close. And there's another thing I saw in Kenya where people are buying land for their children. So if we want to buy land for our children here, and most of our children are like British nationality, is there any way we can do it without
without them being Kenyan?
Yes.
Without them having a Kenyan document.
Yes. And without them knowing as well.
Halima, you can repeat that question. I didn't get all of it.
Okay, Martin, in this instance, the rich man now wants to buy a property for his children, but the children are British. So number one question, the children are British, but they have not nationalized to Kenyan. So they're dual nationals, because by him they are by proxy, but they haven't gained it by documentation.
Yes.
So can he actually buy property for his British children, even though they don't have the Kenyan document? That's question number one. Number two, he wants to buy the property for the British children, but he doesn't even want to tell them because some of them might just go sell it off and go to Mafia. So two questions. He wants to buy and they are British. He also wants to buy, and I think that answers it because originally you could buy the whole process and get the document. Yeah, so question number two is buy for a child, but the child is still a child. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So if you're buying for a child, even if that child is British, if they are not yet the age of majority, which is 18 years, it's only you as a parent who can be able to buy it. And then once they achieve the age of majority, you can transfer it to them. In this case, because they are British, when they reach the age of majority, or when you want them to know and you want to transfer to them, they only need the British passport if they don't have any other identity from the Kenyan side, even if they are dual citizens. So they need the British passport. Then we'll help them get a KRA PIN certificate, because there's a requirement for anybody who doesn't have a Kenyan ID or a Kenyan passport. You can still acquire, but you need to assist you to get a KRA PIN certificate. In that case, they can be able to acquire, or you can be able to transfer to them. The second question is where you don't need them to know. it means then you're buying and you hold it in trust for them. And that means you'll have to explore other means like a will or something, so that once you are comfortable that you want them to know you bought something for them, you still have to initiate the process of transfer from your name to them. And even when you initiate the process of transfer from your name to them, if you still have doubt, you can hold it in joint with them until the day you feel that you can now let them own on their own.
Wow, thank you. See why we should invest in Centum. Those are the many reasons for investing with Centum. You know,
Yes, there is something I didn't understand about
the child.
the KRA or something.
Okay, because for anyone who's not, okay, for anyone to buy a property in Kenya, whether you're Kenyan or not, you require a KRA PIN.
Okay.
Now, for us as Kenyans, the KRA PIN, you can just go online and apply it for yourself. Just go on you just open an e-citizen account and you register for a KRA PIN. You're Kenyan, your ID and all, you just need your Kenyan ID and that's it, your birth certificate, and you can apply for it. But if you're non-Kenyan, now your child will be British and not holding a Kenyan ID. That means they cannot actually just go on and be able to have the e-citizen that can open a KRA PIN. There, Centum, Martin and his team will help the child get the KRA PIN.
When they're 18.
Oh, okay.
For any property, whether or not you need a KRA PIN.
When they're 18.
Yeah, so, well, to buy the property,
Correct.
the PIN will be to validate the process of buying the property. So in this case, that stands also for me, for my husband, Mr. White, if he's the one I want to buy the property, not as ata mi staki ajue, ataki mi nijue or something. Martin would be able to help him get the KRA PIN to buy the property. So whether child or adult.
Yes.
You understand? As long as they're not Kenyan nationality, Centum is actually saying we're here for you. We'll help you with the process that helps the non-Kenyan get the property.
Amen.
Yes.
Yeah,
Is that okay?
what I'm trying to say is the child is not 18, but I want the land I'm buying or the property I'm buying to be in his name.
But that land is in trust. That's what he's saying. When you're buying for the child is not yet 18. The land is still under you, but in trust for him. So on the record, the land is not yours, it's his. You have done it in trust for that child.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's everything for everyone.
That's fine.
Next
I don't
one.
have any other.
Uliza zote, when you
Just stand. Uliza tu. Just ask.
A quick question. Since you have property in Kenya and you say you are earning rent from that property, how do you handle the and I'm not based in Kenya? How are the taxes dealt with? Especially since you are out here.
Okay, Martin, did you get that?
You can repeat it for me.
So if you're earning an income from a property that you're renting in Kenya, in terms of taxes, how do you go about that for that client? Yeah.
Alba, you can repeat the question. There's a lot of base.
Let me give me the mic.
Sorry,
We're not based in Kenya.
You're not based? Yes.
So Martin, passive income. The question is on passive income. So the gentleman there has bought a house and now he's earning, the gentleman has bought a house. He has handed it over to you to manage the house and he's earning a lot of money. As Mary explained to us, he's making 150 on Airbnb. Who is going to help him work out the taxes? Because he wants that money made in Kenya and he has no time to come to Kenya to do the taxes. How do you work out everything and just drop his money into the account?
So I understand that's a question on rent or income tax.
Yes.
So because of the sensitivity of Kenyans and the paying taxes, we actually deduct every other expense that relates to your rental income, but we don't touch the tax component. We recommend that you get CPA firm. Doesn't have to be the biggest, the big four. You can get a small CPA firm to be handling that, because matters of KRA, and you know how Kenyans, sometimes they pay tax, sometimes they don't pay tax. So we prefer not to go into the details of the taxation. But once we give you the rent, because the computing tax income is very simple. It is computed on the gross. Gross means if you had repairs in that particular month that you earned that rental income or any other expenses, they don't allow you to deduct for you to compute the rental income tax. So even as we do the deductions, and if your rent is that to 50,000 or 50,000, you can be able to predict the rental income tax to be paid. But that one we prefer that we deal with a CPA here in Kenya, so that they can be able to deal with KRA. And the reason why we prefer CPA is because matters of KRA, sometimes there are errors on their side and they can really chase you for their own errors. So it's good to have somebody who just has the records right and knows how they behave from time to time and is able to handle them properly.
Just one question. Okay, Martin, in line with that, yeah. So it's good to deal with a CPA, and that's okay. But can you signpost to a CPA? Do you signpost? Because that gentleman is adamant. He wants nothing to do with Kenya also. No bureaucracy, no paperwork. Can you signpost to CPAs? Do you have any portfolio? You can say Jaribu Wawa, but no strings attached even if.
By signposting, you mean recommending?
Recommending.
Yes, we can. We can recommend.
Okay. All right, Martin, we are going to take a little break. We're going to just take a few minutes break because the food is going to be taken away. So we're just going to ask people from that table, from that end, to start just going out to collect the food. Then come back, and then to continue. Is that okay, Martin? Yeah. Just because they are closing down. So we'll ask everybody to just start from there. Stoke nyote. Watoke tu kwanza hiyo table kwa ajili. Yeah? Itakuwa sawa. Any other question for Martin? Swali hili? Okay, Martin.
People will miss. I wanted everybody to get it.
Just because we can't do it. Okay. Okay, Martin. This is a question regarding people buying property watu wa chama. Mama wamekuja ni wa chama moja. Wanaitwa step by step Reading women's group. So step by step Reading women's group want to buy a property. Can they? And what is the formality?
You mean a group of people wanting to buy property together?
Together, yes.
Okay, so there are two options they can look at it. Number one is buying it jointly, but if there are too many, that option might not be feasible. So it's good they formalize it into a private limited company. Then they become shareholders and directors in that company. Then the money, they can fund the company and the company will buy the property on their behalf.
So, Halima, okay.
How many? Two, yes, Martin. How many? Okay, two is a joint ownership. Yeah. More than two, it's better to make it a limited company. And then the limited company is the one. So you create shares because you could be five. Today you're five, but you did not all have an equal share. Right. So she gave 6 million, 1 million, 4 million, 500,000, but it's still a shareholding. Right. So if you register a company in that case, each of you now becomes a shareholder, and the profits after tax are shared according to your shares. Okay.
Okay. And Alima, a rejoinder question to that. I think this goes to Nyambura. She had raised an issue about circles and subdividing of the land. Would that fit to a group like that? Secondly, will that mean that they will have to abide by set standards by Centum, or they can just buy the 5 acres and subdivide the way they want?
So Martin and Nyambura, you will have to pause answering that question so that we are not unjust to the other guys who have gone.
So please, Dominic, we're going to take a break for everybody to take food. Martin, please.
Imagine living, working, and meeting all your entertainment needs within just a stone's throw radius. Yes, this is now a reality thanks to the idea that was conceived in 2009. Today, when you think of well-planned urban environments in Kenya and the region, you can't help but think about Centum Real Estate.
There was a huge gap in terms of provision of urban amenities, be it water, power, sewer system, drainage, the master planning, adherence to urban planning guidelines, and also providing a mixed development, because urban environments are places of where people live, where people do business, where people play, but how do you do it in an organized fashion? And we saw a gap there.
Centum Real Estate, through its vision to be the leading real estate developer of urban mixed-use nodes in sub-Saharan Africa, has so far developed Two Rivers Social City in Nairobi, Vipingo Developments in Kilifi, and Pearl Marina in Entebbe.
It's work in progress. You know, it's a never-ending goal because these projects are all ambitious, but we've commenced. They are all operational. There are people living in them. If we speak of Vipingo, there are more than 500 residents who are there. We have industries that are located there. We have retail locations. In Uganda, we also again have over 500 residents. We are now working on the commercial aspects. If you speak about Two Rivers, you have the largest shopping mall. We have offices. Last year in August, it was gazetted as a special economic zone. We have more than 1,000 residences that are coming up. So yes, we are on our way to achieving ultimately the goal we set out to achieve.
But why the approach of well-planned cities?
If you talk about drainage, if you talk about basic sanitation, if you speak about power, if you speak about security, all these things are very, very critical for the well-being of the citizens. And for even the country to be competitive, you need to have a well-planned city. And we've seen it in Two Rivers. Now it's Two Rivers International Finance and Innovation Center. When we attract businesses that come here to visit, they are attracted by the fact that they are in a city that is comparable to where they have come from. And that's what businesses want. They want such a location and also a place where their workers can live.
so you enjoy high quality of life. If the place is properly planned and the infrastructure works, you get to live in a state where you don't need to worry about that. In the current lifestyle where everyone cares about their health, you can walk in the evening, you can run, you can leave your family to enjoy. It's a plug and play system that you look forward to going home. And we see the future for a long time in this region will be in gated communities, in satellite towns. So you'll see Centum in many other locations. In Kenya, we are in 2 locations. There are 47 counties, so we can move to all those counties. There are opportunities across the region. In Uganda, we are just in Entebbe. We can move to other cities within Uganda. There is Tanzania, and there is the entire sub-Saharan Africa, where the housing need is the same, and where the opportunity is the same, and where the Centum expertise is deeply required to organize that market and provide decent housing.
Zoning in closer, we look at the current and future developments by Centum Real Estate and the opportunities that these developments present to investors.
We have tapped into every market segment, from the high-end market to the affordable market. We also have portfolios across different locations. So we have in Uganda, we have in Nairobi, and also we have in Vipingo. We also have apartments, we have land where our investors can choose. We also offer flexible investment options. We have different payment plans across our different portfolio. We have also partnered with various financial institutions who are able also to give you financial advice. We have also negotiated very competitive interest rates for investors. And once you buy, we don't just abandon you at that stage. We continue the journey with you by providing you with professional property management. So if you're investors, we can help you get tenants, manage the tenant. And if you invested to live in our estate, we ensure that you have professional estate management services. We have available investment opportunities within the Two Rivers Social City. We also have opportunity in Kasarani at Elma 1. So in Two Rivers, we have invested across every market segment. So we have properties from the high end to the affordable market. So our properties start from 4.9 all the way to 40 million plus. In Elma, you can be able to invest in the affordable segment where we have studios starting from 2.5 all the way to 2 bedrooms from 6.3 million.
Those looking to buy and live at Two Rivers, for instance, can be assured of world-class amenities and therefore great quality of life.
Other than reliable water and power supply across all our properties, we also provide green spaces within every development that we do. In fact, we have 30% greenery across all our projects. I'll give an example of Elma 1 in Kasarani, where we have a courtyard in between the 3 blocks. And in addition to that, we also have a rooftop lounge area that has a mini soccer pitch and a tennis court where your kids can play, where you relax. And also you can enjoy the scenic view with your friends. I believe that great cities take care of the people that live within those cities, and that's what Centum Real Estate tries to achieve across all our developments. I'll give you an example of a person living within the Riverbank apartments. She's able to work within the various office spaces that we have within the development, and then she's also able to entertain herself through the various entertainment options that we have. She can watch a movie at the cinema over the weekend. She can do the go-karting on the Friday night. You can take your kids to the water park over the weekend. We're also able to shop within the mall. We have various retail options that we're providing for you. We're also able to dine, have a dinner through the various dining options that we have. In a nutshell, we are trying to give you an Instagrammable lifestyle.
Those looking to invest in the properties at Two Rivers can lease their houses. Centum Real Estate, through its partners, offers various rental management services, giving you a peace of mind from wherever you are in the world.
We have furnished units and we also have unfurnished units. So unfurnished units are let out the way we handed them over. as a developer, nothing inside. So for the furnished units, it's where a landlord will furnish the unit with everything, right from the living room to the bedrooms to the bathrooms. The units come fully packed. That is what we call the furnished option. Of course, the furnished option, the rate is higher than the unfurnished option, but we try to keep the rates within the current market rate in the area. For Riverbank Apartments, which is right behind me, the typology is 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, and 3 bedrooms. So for loft, we have 4 bedroom duplexes for all of them. Cascadia, we are going to have 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms. And for Mzizi, we are going to have studios, 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms, and 3 bedrooms.
Investing with Centum Real Estate gives you high and stable returns.
Your investment is in safe hands. We have currently contracted one of the big property managers in the region, and they are helping us to take care of our units. As a developer, we like to focus on the development bit, and we are partnering with other companies that will help us realize our goal and to ensure that everything is going on well in your unit and that you get the return on investment at the end of the day.
We have created unrivaled value to investors who have either set up enterprise, done business with us, or made real estate investments in our portfolio projects. For example, for residential developments, we offer double-digit rental yield and up to 5% capital appreciation annually.
Being in development of real estate, Centum Re has had to address social and environmental impact questions.
Centum Real Estate is keen on positively impacting the communities where our projects sit. And this strategy is guided by a number of documents, one of them being our environmental, social, and governance policy, commonly known as ESG policy, as well as our CSR framework. So we have a CSR arm that overlooks CSR activities that are carried out by the organization. So here in Nairobi, for example, we oversee the supply of fresh water to Githogoro, which is one of the informal settlements that are located along the Northern Bypass corridor. The team at Centum Re oversees the supply as well as the quality of the water. Secondly, we support various initiatives that are carried out by different organizations who seek to partner with Centum Re in different fronts. For example, in the previous year, we partnered with some of the local NGOs to plant trees across 2 rivers. We've been able to maintain some of the natural environment that are there. We do not cut trees that do not need to be cut. And where we cut trees, we ensure that we replant them after the completion of the project. We also have very strict development guidelines that guide how waste that is emitted from projects is disposed of. We also have policies that ensure that we incorporate renewable energy such as solar from the 2 rivers power company, as well as solar systems that have been incorporated into specific projects, just to adopt solar energy or renewable energy in each of the projects. Secondly, we recycle water. That's grey water or wastewater from the projects, and the recycled product is normally used in landscaping for irrigation purposes, as well as in cleaning. That is, the infrastructure and also the common areas. And this is because, the water that has been recycled meets WHO standards and is suitable for use. As a company also, we've adopted a green building strategy, meaning that all our products meet green building certification standards, in particularly with partnership with IFC's EDGE system and standards. So those enable us to support the environmental protection in as much as we are going on with the investment.
Since 2016, Centum Re has issued scholarships to bright but needy students, enabling them pursue their educational goal, both at primary, secondary, tertiary and university level. Centum Re is an equal opportunity employer. We have actually achieved a 0 gap pay between the male and female staff. That's contributing largely on the gender equality issue.
With all this in mind, you can be sure that you are investing with a company that takes care of your current and future needs. A company that is socially and environmentally responsible, and while you are at it, you are assured return on investment.
If we
population growth prospects is the population of Kenya and the region by 2050 will have doubled, meaning we'll be in excess of 100 million people. And of these 100 million people, 50%, which is ideally 50 million people, will be in urban centers. The reason is they'll move to urban centers to look for economic opportunity to generate some level of employment. One way or another, they need to be housed, and that is what creates the long-term prospect of Centum. So we're looking at where will the city be, where will people be residing in 2030, in 2040, in 2050, and we go to those locations, master plan them, do a wish list of what they would want to have, a community, a gated community with infrastructure, with amenities, with world-class lifestyle that they can enjoy here in Kenya, and that is comparable to any other location globally. So Centum wants to be the key driver of creating those highly sought after aspirational destinations across the region.
I would encourage Kenyans in the diaspora to seriously consider investing in one of the projects that has been done by Centum. They are a credible developer. They have the backing of Centum PLC. They have a track record of well-delivered projects. They were in the market 3 years ago and issued a bond, which they fully repaid last year. And the projects are attractive. If you look at Two Rivers, it's largely fully sold, and so they are now selling the new phases. The same applies with Ipingo, the same applies with Palmarina in Entebbe, and any other projects that they may be coming up with.
The first of its kind, Two Rivers Social City, and only comparable to Mauritius, Morocco, and Dubai.
From Centum Real Estate offices, enjoy Two Rivers work, live, play environment from a number of our projects, Cascadia, Riverbank, Mzizi, Roft, and enjoy your shopping at the mall.
Two Rivers is strategically located within the diplomatic blue zone of Nairobi, a few minutes from the various urban areas.
When living at Two Rivers, you get to enjoy a vibrant lifestyle.
We offer you a wide array of world-class shops, fine dining establishments, family-friendly restaurants, cinemas, and live entertainment zones, all within the vicinity.
You also get to enjoy world-class infrastructure at Two Rivers. We have well-maintained roads and walking paths and guarantee reliable water and sanitation services, as well as uninterrupted power supply.
At Two Rivers, you'll be assured of unrivaled safety and security.
You've had it, invest with us today.
Welcome to the Palmarina Estates in Entebbe, Uganda.
Palmarina is a master planned and controlled development in the Garuga Peninsula.
It has over 3 kilometers of lake frontage and it's very close to Kampala.
Palmarina comprises both residential and commercial. It has trains, schools, we have a hospital planned, resort hotels as part of this development.
We have apartments, townhouses, bungalows and villas. We have ready-to-occupy units and we have off-plan offerings.
Become part of this growing community where your return on investments is guaranteed.
The best day to invest was yesterday, but the next best day is today.
The other thing that I would like to say is that one thing, yes, it is a bet that already was made and it will be intensified. We believe Nairobi is an excellent as an excellent location for our operations. Not only we have very good costs, but we have an excellent campus with excellent conditions to expand. And several agencies have moved entirely or part of their services and are preparing that movement to Nairobi. And we believe that in the context of the UN80, Nairobi is a location that I believe will be with enormous potential. And there is another reason to do it. Africa is our priority, and whatever we can do to invest from the UN point of view in the African continent is something that I believe it's our duty to do, even taking into account that for the UN itself, Africa is one of the priorities.
From Kilifi to the world, Centum Real Estate proudly brings you Vipingo Model City. Introducing the Lake Gas Storage Plant, home to a 20,000 metric ton LPG facility. A state-of-the-art project that will lower the cost of retail LPG products while ensuring a steady supply for all. Next, the Cashew Nut Factory, processing 6,000 metric tons annually. This facility will create thousands of jobs, both directly and indirectly, while providing a ready market for local farmers. At the heart of sustainability, the 3 million liters per day seawater desalination plant provides fresh, clean water year-round, supporting both the residents and the local community. With 440 luxury, affordable homes, Vipingo Model City offers a world-class living experience while creating employment opportunities for the local community. Join us in unveiling the future. Scan the QR code or call now to be part of this groundbreaking transformation.
Vipingo yetu.
We are proud of the environment we've created. We are happy to share that with the world.
Kwa vile najua habari ya elimu katika hii sehemu, watoto wengi walikuwa wana drop.
Asanteni fadhili wangu, Pingo twasherekea, ndoto kubwa sisi kwetu, enyi kutufikia.
Wakati mwanzilishi wa shirika la wekezaji la Centum alipopata wazo la kuanzisha mradi wa makao, nyumba na wekezaji mjini Vipingo, kaunti ya Kilifi, hakukuwa na wengi walioshangilia wazo lake. Hata hivyo, alikuwa tayari ameavulia nguo maji na hakusita kuyaoga katika azma yake kubwa tu ya kutaka kubadilisha hadhi ya mji huu ulio na utajiri mkubwa wa hewa safi, rutuba nzuri na watu waadilifu. Miaka michache baadaye, ndoto yake imeendelea kukuzwa na aliyowaacha nyuma wakitwikwa na jukumu kubwa la kuhakikisha yaliyoandikwa yatatimizwa. Katika mazungumzo yetu na mkurugenzi mkuu, ilidhihirika wazi kuwa nyayo za mwanzilishi bado zinaendelea kufuatwa na mipango ya kugeuza sehemu hii kuwa eneo litakalobadilisha maisha ya wengi bado iko shwari na inafuatwa vilivyo.
We are proud of the environment we've created. We studied the market deeply and identified what people are looking for. They are looking for communities where their families can thrive. They themselves are happy to live there and their companies can grow. So with the competitive advantage that we have, which is land, we created parks, beautifully landscaped gardens, walkways, and even amenities, and then put buildings in between. And what we've done here, you can see it's a forest where buildings are growing on the background, and this is at the coast region. So you can enjoy your walk, you can enjoy shade, and you know, plants are oxygen, so the quality of life is greatly enhanced. We are happy to share that with the world and show you what we'll do in the next phase. And as the project takes shape, you can imagine 5-10 years from today what this will be.
Mpango wa kwanza ulikuwa ni kukamilisha nyumba za viwango viwili. Kwanza Awali Estate awamu ya kwanza, kisha pili Pambridge Apartments awamu ya kwanza, na tatu mpango wa kusafisha maji ya bahari ya Hindi ili yatumike na wateja wa nyumba zao na maeneo mengi tofauti. Mbali na kuhakikisha kuwa mpango wao wa kusafisha na kusambaza maji utafaidi vizazi vingi vijavyo, Ken Mbae anaeleza kuwa wana mikakati mwafaka kati yao na wasambazaji stima nchini kuongeza viwango vya stima thabiti kila wakati.
We have an infinite water body, which is the ocean. There is technology to extract water from the ocean and convert it to drinking standard. We've invested in that technology, which is a seawater desalination process. We actually generate 3 million liters of water per day. So all the tap water here is high quality, actually meets the World Health Organization standard and the CAP standard of drinking water. And based on demand, we can keep expanding that facility and meeting the water requirements. If you stay in one of our projects, you don't need to invest in a jerry can. You just get your water straight from the tap, reliably, anytime.
Aidha, msimamizi wa kiwanda cha maji cha Centum anakariri umuhimu wa azma yao ya kutoa maji safi kwa wateja wao.
Sababu ya Centum kuanzisha huu mradi tulikuwa tunajenga nyumba za kifahari pale, na shida moja huku coast ni shida ya maji, na wakati wa kiangazi pia hizi aina zingine za kupata maji kama borehole sio consistent, lakini saa kutoka kwa bahari it's a more consistent source of maji. Mradi wenyewe unafaa uproduce lita 3,000,000 kwa siku. Hiyo ndio capacity ya huu mradi, na hiyo ni kwa sababu ya the vast project tuko nayo. Inafaa iwe inapata maji sufficient kutoka kwa huu mradi. Kwa sasa ni zaidi, lakini ukiangalia mbele labda miaka 4-5 itakuwa labda ndio inafikia ile capacity. Maji yanamgharimu mtumizi shilingi 200 kwa kila 1000 liters, ambayo ni cubic mita moja.
Aidha, maoni wanayokusanya kutoka kwa wanunuzi wa nyumba na ploti zao yanawasaidia sana katika kuboresha miradi ijayo ili kuwaridhisha wateja wao katika siku za usoni.
Because we've created a community that will create demand for power, it means it will make it commercially viable for then renewable energy investors, should it be solar, wind, to set up and supply our homes with that power.
Vile vile anazungumzia mpango wa kulipia karo wanafunzi katika shule za upili ili kuhakikisha watoto wanaotoka familia zao wanapata masomo.
We particularly believe that in areas that we are doing business, the community around should also thrive and grow as our businesses are growing. Here we've invested in a big way in education. We currently educate 400 kids with full high school scholarship from underprivileged families, but they are bright.
Vilevile, mkuu wa mauzo alitufahamisha zaidi jinsi mpango wao wa nyumba, makao na uwekezaji ulivyopangwa na wanaolenga kunufaika hapa.
Kufika Vipingo imekuwa ni rahisi kwa sababu kuna njia zaidi ya moja ya wewe kufika Vipingo. Watu ambao wamenunua ni watu wa aina nyingi. Kuna watu ambao wanafanya tu kama kampuni, walimu, kuna watu wanafanya mabenki. Hii ni kwa sababu wengine wao wanapewa what we call financing. Kuna sehemu ya mradi huu ambao imetengewa viwanda, na katika hiyo sehemu tuko na ekari 1150. Kwa sasa tuko na kama 70% ambayo imechukuliwa na viwanda kadhaa ambazo nyinginezo zimeanza kufanya kazi. Kuna kampuni moja ambayo tayari inafanya kazi na inahusikana sana na mambo ya value addition ya korosho. Hiyo ina fit in kwa zile malengo ambazo tulikuwa nazo kwa kutenga hiyo sehemu ya viwanda, kwa sababu korosho ni mmea mmoja ambao unapandwa sana katika sehemu hii ya Kilifi.
Wengi walionunua katika nyumba za orofa za Palmbridge wanafurahia sana mazingira ya hapa.
Mimi nilitokea pande ya Limuru, mahali kunaitwa Ndeia. Na huko Ndeia saa zingine baridi ni mingi sana. Na hii baridi sometimes ilikuwa inafanya nashikwa na homa every time. Na hii homa inaitwa sinuses ya kusneeze every time. So wakati nilikuja hapa, nilikuja tu kutembelea rafiki, nikasikia weather hapa iko sawa kabisa. Na hii weather utaki kuvaa jacket, na kuna joto ya kuumiza, kuna kabaridi kabrizi kanaingia. Wakati niliambiwa kuna mahali panauzwa nyumba hapa, mimi nilikuja kama ninakimbia.
Tumeongeza zile tunaita studio apartments, na tumeongeza ile ambayo tunaita loft, one bedroom loft apartment.
Wakati wa ujenzi wa awamu ya kwanza ya nyumba hizi, zaidi ya watu 1000 walifaidika na vibarua tofauti vya ujenzi. Hivyo basi familia nyingi tu zinaendelea kuona manufaa ya kuwepo kwa shirika la Centum hapa Vipingo.
We've achieved all. Customer wamefurahia, watu wanaoishi Vipingo wamefurahia. Tumecreate employment kwa jamii zinazotuzunguka. Kwa kila site kama awali, kila siku nilikuwa nafanya kazi zaidi ya 300. Palmbridge pia 300, desalination kama 100, na kwa siku naweza sema nilikuwa nafanya kazi kama 800.
Mama Agnes Mbuli hakuchelea kujipatia nyumba aina ya villa baada ya kustaafu, na pia kufuatia uhamisho wa kikazi wa mumewe hivi majuzi kuelekea pwani ya Kenya.
This is our retirement home. I retired in 2018. And I've been really wondering where is it that we can settle. And I felt once we purchased here, and actually when I came to set it up, I thought maybe I can use it as a short rental. But the work I put, I was like, no, I'm not going to put it for a short rental. I need to enjoy the space before I can give it out to somebody else. And then my husband was transferred to the coast. Once he was transferred, I told him then this is the greatest opportunity for us to move out from the city. And again, we also are looking, as I said, downsizing. Because where we are, we've been empty nesters for the last nearly 14 years. And we felt the echoes were just too much. Let's go to somewhere that is a bit manageable and smaller for the two of us. And it's very quiet and very conducive for the kind of work we do. But this is a very beautiful place. I think I just like the ambience and the quiet. You know, there are people who want to write their memoirs. This is the best place to come and do that. People who do painting, you know, there are people who do certain things that require silence, including the virtual platform for their own work.
Kama watu waliostaafu, Mama Mbuli anapenda sana mazingira tulivu ya Vipingo na anajivunia makao yake, kufanya kazi na shughuli zake bila ya rabsha nyingi. Tulipozuru shule ya mchanganyiko ya Mikwajuni, tulijionea wazi jinsi wanafunzi na walimu wanavyotangamana vyema chini ya uongozi wa mwalimu mkuu Bi Charity Mapenzi.
Uhusiano wetu na Vipingo Development ulianza miaka 4 iliyopita. Na ulianza kwa sababu walikuja wakatusaidia kutujengea madarasa mawili. Wakati wote tulikuwa tuko na uhaba wa madarasa, na katika madarasa hayo mawili yamekuwa kiungo kizuri sana kwetu. Mbali na madarasa, kila mwaka huwa wanatufadhilisha watoto kwenda secondary school kwa upande wa school fees. Wao watoto ambao wanafadhiliwa wanakuwa selected hivi. Kuna forms zinatumwa in advance. Na kawaida wanatutumia kama 10 forms. So zile forms wale wanafunzi wanajaza na wazazi wao. Kuna mahali ambapo wanasainiwa hata na chief na kama ni pastor ama mwalimu wa dini. Then hizi forms zinarudi. So katika zile shule zote ambazo zina ufadhili wa Centum, nakumbuka kama last time nikihusika zilikuwa shule 12. So kuna walimu wanatumwa kwa kila shule, wanaenda kwa huo mkao. Sasa katika zile form, wewe kama mwalimu wa Mkwajuni hutachagua mwenyewe. Mwalimu wa shule mwingine ndo atapewa hizo forms za Mkwajuni, washauri moyo pengine atapewa za Mkwajuni, watakaungu atapewa za Vuma, wavuma pengine atapewa za Leste Shariani. Sasa yule ambaye ni mwenyekiti wa huo mkao siku hiyo, aidha Bwana Shokoa ama Mr. Mbaye, mara nyingine ndio sasa wanaambia zile fomu uko nazo, angalia yule ambaye uko so deserving according to the marks. Because kama saa hii niko na msichana na marks 330, na alikuwa hajaenda shule. Nilipomwita mzazi wake anasema baba anauza maji Mombasa kwa msikiti na mama kibarua tu hivi. So the girl had not gone to school, alikuwa ameitwa Ganze Girls. I advised the parent ampeleke hata kama ni hapa day school Mnarani, tukingojea tuone kama kuna any favor itatokezea. But kupeleka mtoto shule this community, I'm telling you it's a big burden.
Kila mwaka shirika la Centum huwalipia karo wanafunzi 50 kutoka katika familia zenye mapato hafifu. Aidha, mwalimu Shokoa kama mwanzilishi wa jamii katika Centum anatumia ujuzi wake wa miaka mingi kumwezesha kuhusika pakubwa katika kutafuta na kuhakikisha wanafunzi wanaofaidika ni wale wenye hitaji la juu sana.
Nilipostaafu mwaka wa 2016 nikaingia katika hili shirika kama community liaison officer. Kwa hivyo tukaanza kufikiria mambo gani ambayo tunaweza kusaidia community yetu ya sehemu hii. Kwa hivyo kwa vile ninajua habari ya elimu katika hii sehemu, nikawashauri kwamba tuwasaidie watoto katika shule za secondary. Kwa sababu watoto wengi walikuwa wana drop baada ya kufanya vizuri, hapati nafasi ya kwenda mbele kwa sababu wazazi ni wale ambao hawajimudu.
Baadhi ya wanafunzi waliofaidika na mpango wa masomo wa Centum na ambao tayari wamekamilisha masomo ya kidato cha 4 wana furaha tele na shukrani si haba kwa ufadhili waliopokea.
Hata sijui kama ningefika hapa sababu kielimu yangu mimi nilikuwa ndio nimefanikiwa ndio, lakini nilikuwa siwezi uwezo kwenda mbele, singepata. Walianza na mimi nilikuwa katika kidato cha kwanza. Kwa hivyo penye ambao tulimaliza mtihani wa darasa la 8 katika shule ya Vipingo Central Primary School, nilisikia kwamba wanachukua wanafunzi ambao hawajiwezi, ambao wana uwezo mkubwa kielimu lakini hawakujiwezi katika kusimamia mambo ya kielimu.
Huo mzigo wa karo yani ulikuwa tu mkubwa sana. Changamoto nimeweza kuepuka. Hivi mambo na
lovely quiet. There's some more tables here. Some of us have already left. We were doing Q&A, and I think before we rushed into the food, there was a question that was asked before we went to Q&A. Would you please, if you don't mind, just repeating that question? Yes, which is related. You can ask that question again. Thank you.
I was asking if there's a group of people, are you able to invest, and what is the procedure to invest?
Okay. Thank you. Martin, did you get that question, or do you want me to repeat it for you?
Come again.
Right. So this was a question that was taken before we broke for dinner. And just before that, we want to say thank you again to Centum for the lovely meal. The question is, if you're a group of persons, can that group of persons come together and invest with Centum? Did you get that? Are you on mute? Did you hear my question, or are we on mute?
I lost the last part of it.
All right, I'll repeat the question again. So if a group of people come together, Chama or a group, and they want to come together and invest with Centum, is that possible? That was a question that was taken.
Yes.
So
yes, it's very much possible. Yeah, it's very much possible. And if the group is not big, they can invest through their own individual names. But if the group is big, it's recommended that they formalize that group in form of a private company. Then they become shareholders or directors in the company. Then the property is acquired in the company name. And the good thing with formalizing into a company, in case, the group dynamics keep changing, in case someone feels that the group is no longer serving their interest, you don't have to go to the land registry to try to remove someone's name from the title deed. All you need to do is buy off that person's shareholding in the company. Then that way you don't have to keep changing the title whenever somebody is leaving. And the good thing is also, so when someone is exiting, you can have somebody coming in as a new investor in the same company. So those are the pros and cons of buying as joint and buying as a company.
And if you buy as a company, do you still enjoy the tax relief, the 10% and the 20% within 5, is it 10 and 10? You still
the process is the same.
That's the same process?
Come again on that?
So the same question, but just an add-on question. Do they still enjoy the tax relief, the 10% after 10 years and then 15% after another 10 years? And then for the corporation tax, that is.
The taxation if they buy as a company, or the rental income tax.
The corporate, is it? Because now they're forming as a company, right? The group of, do they now have to pay for corporation tax?
So when they buy as a company, the first point of contact with the taxman will depend on is the company just engaging in rental business? Because if it's engaging in the rental business, rental income tax at 7.5% is paid by both corporates and individuals. Then to avoid of taxation, when they are paying the corporate tax at the end of the financial year, they are allowed to deduct any tax they have paid in form of rental income tax to avoid double taxation. So, but if they are doing other businesses, it means that even after offsetting against the rental income tax, they're still gonna pay the deficit, being the revenue recognized from other activities outside of the rental income.
Did you get that lot? Yes, are we clear? And I think another question that was asked is, I probably even asked it myself. How would I, if I do not have the money but want to climb into the property market as a new investor, or as a young person? We had another person saying they want to buy property for the children. However, what if the child wants to now jump into the property market? What are the financial routes they could use to be able to get into the property market? I think I'm edging towards things like loans or SACCOs, etc.
So you mean what are some of the financial loops someone can exploit to buy properties in Kenya?
Yes.
Okay. So number one, the first option is where you take advantage of the properties that have a longer payment plan. That means they have either started or they're about to start construction. So that way you're able to stagger the payment plan over a number of months. Number two is you take advantage of the KMRC. Every Kenyan, whether you are in Kenya or a diaspora, you are eligible to a KMRC once in your lifetime, up to 10.5 million. But that does not limit you to buy a property of 10.5. You can even buy for 15 or 20, but what you get at a KMRC is 10.5. The differential, if you still want to borrow, you borrow it at the market rate. Number three, which is very sustainable, is the SACCO because of the cheaper interest rate. So SACCOs currently are charging at an average of 12%, and that rate is stable. So when you negotiate a loan to buy a property with a SACCO at 12%, you don't expect it to change in the long run. The banks, the rate is a bit volatile. It keeps on fluctuating depending on the central bank base lending rate. So the most practical avenues is basically the KMRC funding, the SACCO funding, and the installment purchase for off-plan projects.
Wonderful. Did you get all that? Yeah. Just to add on again on that question, do Centum have their own SACCO approved details that members can always benefit from, for example?
So Centum, we don't have our own SACCO. What we do have is we have a bank. One of the banks in Kenya, CBN Bank, is largely owned by us. But we have partnered with almost every other legit SACCO and most of the banks. The current 3 active SACCOs that we are working well with is the Safaricom SACCO, which has been rebranded to Kona SACCO, QONA. Then we also work well with Kimisitu SACCO, and also we work with the UN SACCO. For the banks, we are working with Absa Bank, NCBA Bank, KCB Bank, I&M Bank, Equity Bank. I don't know whether there is any other that I have left. And HFC, Housing Finance.
Right. Do you want to ask any more questions on that?
Yes.
Yes.
I want to ask on behalf of them, the ladies, how many is too many in a list of people in a chama? How many is too many that require, you know, you say if there are not too many, how many is too many?
Did you get that question, Martin? How many is too many in a chama?
Yes. So far we have the largest number of group that has invested in the individual names is 7. So we've not encountered another purchase of more than 7 people. But yes, we have a group of 7 people who have invested in their names. But it's a bit tiresome because you're dealing with 7 different people and they have to sign the same document. So by the time that document goes to the 7th person, a lot of time has lapsed, and if they are signing in physical paper, by the time it's on the 7th person, the paper is already old. So by the time it's coming back to us, we issue a new set of paper for signing. So we prefer anything above 3 people let it be formalized in form of a company, so that only the directors need to sign and not everybody signing, and that makes the whole process of property acquisition much easier.
Thank you. I think there's a question at the back there. Question on the KMRC loan. So first question, how is this loan extendable for valid for a very long period of time? Is it open for indefinite period of time? Second question, is the KMRC loan applicable for, say, like investment groups? And is it applicable also for commercial purchases of, so if you buy commercial property, or is it just for residential property? Martin, I don't know if you got that. Did you get that about KM?
You can repeat for me the questions.
So the first question is, how long does the KMRC loan go for? No, is it open? Is it open indefinitely? Is there an expiry period? Okay. So we'll go one by one. So with the KMRC loan, is it an indefinite or is it open, and for how long is the loan open for?
Okay. So KMRC goes for a maximum period of 25 years, depending on the age of the person borrowing and also the sources of income of that particular person. So you can go to apply if you are still young. They give you up to 20 or 25. So they're able to come down depending on a number of factors. The good thing with KMRC is that it is encouraged if you qualify for 15 years or 10 or even 25, you go for the maximum period available for you, then seek to repay it faster because there's no early repayment penalties. So you're able to capitalize the maximum period you are being given or you're eligible for. Then when it comes to repayment, you don't want to get stuck with it for many years. You purpose to repay it faster now that you don't have any early repayment penalties.
And can you use a KMRC loan for commercial property? For chamas. And for chamas. So can you use the KMRC for commercial acquisition of property, and also can you use KMRC for chamas or groups?
I've had the commercial. The second one is?
Groups or the chama.
Chama. Okay. So KMRC is purely for residential, for your own stay. So it is meant for a family home. So you can't use it on commercial. So if you want to fund commercial in a cost-effective way, the best route is a SACCO, because a SACCO you'll be funded up to an amount that you qualify for at 12%. And chamas, the KMRC is not available for chama for the same reason that chama cannot be buying a residential family home because there are many. So the individual chama members qualify for KMRC to buy their own family homes. But as a group, they cannot go and take KMRC, but they can take a group mortgage or a group loan to buy property from a SACCO. So that's the difference. A family home is defined as a family for your spouse and children. And if you bought the first home without KMRC, you are still eligible to buy the second or the third home, as long as it's a home you're saying it's a family home. I'm intending to buy it for use by my children, by my spouse, whether you rent it later or not. Like now you can buy an Awali house and say this house is a family house. Then once it's finished, you can decide to rent it out. They will not come to check whether indeed you and your family are staying in the house. But you cannot do KMRC to build a block of flats for multiple dwelling units for rental.
Okay, Dominic was asking a question.
Okay, Dominic, who is online, was asking a question. Dominic Chumo, I believe. So Dominic, if you're there, please unmute.
No, my question was to Nyambura and Martin regarding to say that the selling to SACCOs. Will these work for groups like these ones, or is it specifically for SACCOs? And secondly, would the same standard set by Centum be applying to them?
So the first question is if we sell to SACCOs?
No, I'm coming from the presentation done by Nyambura. She touched on allowing SACCOs to buy over 5 acres and subdividing. And we have a group in diaspora come together and they want to maybe buy that 5 acres and subdivide amongst them. Would that be possible? Second question is, will the same standard set by Centum apply to them? Or they can do as they wish?
Okay, so the group that can buy 5 acres, it doesn't even have to be a group. Even an individual can buy the 5 acres with an intent to do business. So the group or an individual can buy this, we call them bulk, when you're buying 5 acres and above. So yes, people can come together, or individuals can come and buy the 5 acres and above. So in terms of the guidelines, whether they'll be eroded when this happens. So when you are buying, the sales agreement binds you to conform to our development guidelines, because they are the guidelines that we use for our own developments. So if you are buying the 5 acres and you want to develop standalone houses, like the Awali estate, the guidelines that guides the Awali estate will still apply to you. The green, that is the green part, the setbacks from the front, the back, the sideways, the road dimensions. If our road are 12 meters, the internal roads, you have to follow that. So that has to be supported. You have to do that, and that one is embedded in your sales agreement. So we don't foresee a scenario whereby our guidelines should be eroded. And if you disobey our guidelines, we will stop the work on your site until the guidelines have been enforced or have been aligned on your construction site.
Thank you very much, Martin. I think another question is, when you buy a plot of land or 5 acres, is there a timeline for an individual to develop that land? Or can one buy land with the lookout to increase value as the value goes up with the land and sell it later? Do you have a timeline? Has that land got to be developed by a certain time?
So when you buy the bulk, the 5 acres and above, we don't put a timeline on you. The people you put the timeline on are the people buying their neighbor acre plots, because the people buying a neighbor, what we give you a year to pay for their neighbor, and we give you another 4 years to develop that neighbor. But if you're buying the bulk, because you could be buying it for business, and speculation is part of the business, we don't put a timeline for you. What we ask is that you flow with the tide. Flowing with the tide means if the people who have bought bulk around you are developing at some point in future, it is also a wake-up call to also start developing yours, or you dispose it to somebody at a higher value who is ready to develop. So we don't put for you a timeline on the bulk. We don't put for you a timeline on the commercial plots.
Thank you very much. Any other question? Yes.
What do you consider to qualify for those loans? KMRC. And like for example, I'm in a SACCO, you don't qualify for any loans or anything until you stay with them for 6 months. And there are people who will say you need to show them that you're employed, you know? Like for example, I'm a self-employed person. What here, you know, what would you consider to, the proof? What do you have?
Martin, so the lady there is asking, for example, the KMRC loans, what are the qualifications for one to get the loan? If, for example, you're a diasporan and you're self-employed, do they need bank statements, accountancy records, etc.? What are the fundamentals or qualifications that are required, say, for example, to acquire land for such a person?
So there are mainly two things that they look at for them to decide whether you qualify or not. Number one is the collateral, and collateral is the property that you're buying. So that collateral can be used. If you have other property somewhere else, they can also use that so that they don't charge the one you're buying. Number two, they look at your ability to pay. And ability to pay varies from different applicants. You could be self-employed, so they look at your bank statement. If you are employed, they look at your pay slips. The difference is that when you are self-employed, they will ask for a longer period of time. The bank statement, they will ask for a longer period of time so that they can see an average income that you do, because business, sometimes there is a boom, sometimes there's a slowdown. So they will ask you for an extended period of time to give them the historical bank statement so that they can have an idea of the average income you make over a given period of time. But yes, self-employed you qualify, and also if you are employed, you still qualify.
I'll just clarify, Martin, to everybody what you've just said about charging the same property you are buying. So say, for instance, my team over there, the ladies are buying, and they're buying from a SACCO, but they've saved the 6 months from the SACCO, and they don't have the extra, and they want to pay the full amount. Can explain about the same property being charged by the SACCO as the collateral.
Did you get that, Martin?
You can repeat the question for me.
I think if you stand up, yeah.
All right, Martin, regarding using the same property that I am buying as the collateral for the money the bank, or let's say in this case, the SACCO will give me. So I've got whatever the amount I need for the house, I'm giving the SACCO the house. Explain to them the process. I know the process, but at least explain to everybody else.
So you mean how you use the same property as a collateral?
To get money from the SACCO, yeah. Or from the bank, or from whoever the financial provider is. So say you mentioned about the fact that if you want to borrow to buy the property, the lady with the business, you said she would have to have a property that needs to be a collateral to get the money. Now, in this case, let's assume she has no property except the one she wants to buy. So explain to us, can we use the same property as part of the collateral?
Okay. So if you want to use the same collateral that you are buying from us. What the SACCO or any financier under KMRC or outside of KMRC we look at is that if it's a property, is it ready? If it's not ready, they will give you a letter of intent indicating that once the developer finishes the project, we'll be able to fund you up to X amount of money and we'll charge the property at that point. Now, if you are buying land, because there's no waiting time for it to be developed, it's already there. What the SACCO or the bank we look at is, can they charge the land? That means we have to give them the ownership details. That means you have to register the property in your name and it's charged to your SACCO. But before they do that, they give us an irrevocable guarantee or undertaking. So that even as we allow you to own the land before you are paid, and the same is charged. So the two processes happen concurrently. So we are transferring the title to your name, but at the same time, the charging process or the encumbrance is being registered as well. In that case, for us to do that, we must have received an irrevocable undertaking or guarantee from the SACCO that once we transfer the ownership to you and under the charge of the SACCO, the bank will release to us the X amount. That's how it happens when you are buying the same property, and the same property is also being used as collateral for your financing. And where you are paying some money and your SACCO or bank is paying the balance, what you do is you pay the normal installments that we agree. Let's say you are paying 10% over 3 months. So you pay your 10% first before now we can get the irrevocable undertaking. So that now once we have the undertaking, the charging process and the registration of the title in your name can start concurrently. That gives us, the developer, the comfort that we are not just going to register and have the property in your name charged to your SACCO without any comeback in case things go south. I hope it's clear.
That is very, very clear. Yeah, that's very, very clear.
It's an advantage. Yeah.
Yes, I think, is there any more questions? Because one more. Okay, come forward, please.
No, it's not my question. It's someone who requested Namitoka. Do you have any program for retirees, like retirement homes? Oh, there is. Oh,
is there any plans for
in Vipingo?
Let me ask a question. Is there any plans for the retirees who are planning to retire back home? In terms of retirement homes?
Truthfully, any home you buy from Centum can be your retirement home. You just make a choice of the location. Vipingo is the best location. That's why they have segregated. Now, if you mean retirement home in terms of the confines of a retirement home, like here, it has services, it has this and that. Vipingo, Martin can explain. But any other place, you can buy to your comfort.
I'm saying the one where everything, the facilities.
I don't know, Martin, did you get that?
Yeah, so we don't have specific per se in terms of saying these are retirement homes, and that's because of the dynamics of Kenya. You might do a retirement home and then nobody is coming there. So what we've done, especially in Vipingo, is we've set aside some acreage. For now,
wait. Let him continue explaining. Carry on, Martin. Sorry.
So for now, we've set aside about 10 acres, and that's what we are calling a retirement village court. So here we are looking at like-minded people who says we want to retire together. So if they come to us and say, for us, we are 4 of us, we want an acre, or we are 6, the maximum we can fit in a 1 acre retirement village is 6 people. So if they come to us and say, us, we want a retirement village court, and we want to buy the land, we'll build for you. But also, if you come together and say, we are 6 of us, we are buying 1 acre, or we are 4 of us, we're buying this 1 acre, can you give us a proposal to build? That one we can give you a proposal to build for you. You buy the land and we give you a proposal to build, because you are all of you together and in that particular space. And it doesn't have to be an acre, it can be 2 acres, it can be 3 acres. So you can come and say, we don't want to build, but we want to retire together, we are 10 of us. We want to buy land in your retirement village court. And we want it to be spaced like this. At the center, we want to have these amenities. Then that one we can give you a different proposal, a separate proposal from buying the land. Because buying the land means you build for yourself, but we give you all the services, the access up to the individual homes are provided. Sewer connection, if you are 3 of you, we'll give each one of you within that retirement village. Access road, desalinated water connection, sewer connection, and you will need water for irrigating your compound. So that one we give you a secondary connection for the recycled wastewater that we generate.
Okay, any more questions before we finish? Yes.
Probably I'm thinking I'm a little bit behind. What I wanted to find out, or rather what I think might not be clear to everyone, is some of your properties which are like apartments. When you purchase, what do you get as a title? Because it's on common land, or what we call the motherland. We know it's been known in Kenya for people to still go do business with the bank with the motherland title. And then you're left hanging because you have a property that's sitting on a land that is not yours. How do you deal with that as Centum?
Did you get that, Martin?
I got it bit in bit. You can give me a complete view of it.
So how do you treat a person who has bought a property in terms of them knowing that they own the property, i.e. what title do they get? For the apartments, specifically for the apartments, if the apartments are built on a motherland title. So the issues about the motherland title and the apartments, how does the owner of an apartment become the owner of the apartment with the motherland title?
So if I get the question well, is I'm buying an apartment and the mother title spans beyond the apartment block.
Yes.
Insecurities concerning the motherland title. He's concerned about the insecurity. The motherland title is not in the name of everybody on the apartments upwards. What if the owners of the land transact with that security, with that title? What happens to them? The insecurity, that's what he's concerned about.
Okay. So it's very clear on, there are 2 ways we look at it. And I'll first start by speaking to the Sectional Properties Act, which was passed about 3 years ago. That solves that problem, because if you are developing apartments on a parcel of land, it means that parcel of land has the mother title. And for the developer to give you if there are 20 apartments, it means 20 people have to get sectional titles. So you have to give the land registrar the mother title, so that the file for that mother title stops existing. It's like it's being dissolved. And out of that, 20 new sectional titles, or whatever number of sectional titles, are given out. So the mother title stops to exist. However, when you look at the Sectional Properties Act, it has exemptions on who can issue the sectional titles in Kenya and who cannot. And one of the categories that is exempted from issuing sectional titles is developers of large-scale mixed-use development, like now Two Rivers and Vipingo development. They are exempted under the Act from issuing sectional titles because of the large nature of the development. You can't dissolve a mother title in Vipingo, yet that mother title is spanning over 3,000 acres. So what the Act requires the developers like ourselves to do is where the property or the apartment block is sitting on, we are supposed to apply for a discharge from the mother title so that we have the head lease. Okay, so we have a head lease. So if the apartments are sitting on 20 acres, you have the mother title, you apply to the land registrar, register a head lease for the 20 acre where you're building your apartments. Then from this head lease, you'll be able to issue the sub-leases to the people buying for a period of 99 years. Now, who then remains with the head lease once you've given the sub-lease to the people who bought the apartment? So the management company, because we are required by law, and this was changed under the Act. We used to have management company, now it is called the corporation. Every house you're buying entitles you to one share in the corporation, which is famously known as the management company of that estate. So this corporation is the one that the head lease will be registered in favor of. So that in future, the master developer who has the larger mother title, for them, they cannot continue holding it under their name. And how does the Act protect the investors of the apartment from the developer coming back in future? Say there was 3 acres of green space. The developer wants to come in future to develop that green space. Once the last apartment is sold in a development, within 6 months, we are supposed to hand over the reversionary interest to the corporation. So the reversionary interest is a legal instrument that is signed by the developer, the corporation, and any other relevant stakeholder to confirm to the corporation that the rights of the developer in this estate are now extinguished. The developer can only come to the estate by admission or by invitation by the corporation. So the Act has envisioned all this, and the purchasers of the apartments are well covered under the law.
Does that answer your question? Or you have another one? You have another one?
Just one more.
Okay. Yes. It's closer so he can hear you.
So the last question, I hope. If anyone has bought a property through Centum or any other company for that matter, are you able to provide management services? So renting, just taking care of the property for us who are abroad. We don't want to come there, but we want it to be managed. Are you able to do it? I just want for the other company.
Oh, so he's asking if you did not necessarily buy from Centum, can you also provide management services for a property outside Centum?
So for properties that you buy within our portfolio, we run an in-house estate and property management function, and we run it as a value add. We charge you 5% of the rental fee. And this one, you sign a different document altogether. You sign a property management contract. And with that gives us the mandate to be able to manage your house. So yes, the current finished houses, it's voluntary. Those who are very busy or they are far away, you can sign that contract with us. What that contract does is that it gives us the powers to look for a tenant. And looking for a tenant, we also engage other third party, like the brokers and the agents. So what that means is we also give them agents a contract on your behalf because you've signed a property management contract with us. So if they bring us a long-term tenant of 12 months and above, we will pay them on your behalf a 1 month equivalent commission. If they bring a tenant of less than 1 month, we prorate it, less than 1 year, we prorate it accordingly. If it's 3 months, what would have paid for 1 month is cut into 4. Then the tenant now starts dealing with us. Any issues they have in the house, instead of them reaching to you, they reach us. If you look at the current tenancies we have, like now the one we have at 2 Rivers, the ones that we are managing, because we are managing quite a number, almost 95%. The tenants do not know the landlords, and the landlords have never met the tenants. Because what happens is that maybe the tenant came to our office or was brought by an agent, then we asked for KYCs from the tenant. Then the tenant signed the tenancy contract. The tenancy contract is a standard template that we have, that we use across. Then we send to you that tenancy contract on email, you sign, you return it back. The tenant pays rent to our own account. Then every 14th day of the following month, we are able to remit the rent to all the landlords, less any deductible allowances, like management fee, or if there were any repair that were done in the house and they were not as a result of tenant's fault. Maybe it's the normal wear and tear. And if they don't pay, we also enforce. So yes, you can sign with us that contract, and we can be able to handle that just for the properties within our portfolio.
Martin, question was, besides that, that's good you've explained that, but what if they have not bought the property from Centum and the property was from Kijiji estate agents? Can you manage a property? Do you have a property management inlet in Centum that can manage properties that are outside of Centum?
So we don't manage properties outside of Centum. The best we can do to support you is to recommend you to some small-scale property management firms that we know, or we know the people who deal with them. So we can give you 2-3 recommendations. You look at them, and then you pick one. So for us, we purely manage for the properties that we own or we are developing.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I think before we close, is there any final question before I call Halima again? Well, Martin, thank you so much for your time, and everybody else who is on the chat. I believe we've all learned quite a lot. Is it not? Yes. And we are ready now to buy properties in their hundreds, if not thousands. So at this time, I want to welcome Halima. Thank you again, Martin, and the whole team from Centum. Halima, over to you.
Wow, everybody, tupige makofi kwa I really want to emphasize, for me, again, emphasis, the reason why TKDM partners with Centum. Number one is their product knowledge. They know what they are selling. Number two, their conscience for you. They have that ethical grounds. First of all, the customer. Every corner has been covered, and you have heard. Is it about the children you want to buy for? Is it about how you will manage that property? Is it about how you're going to get taxed? Is it about the documents? Some of us are British and not Kenyans still. Which way? Which one is it? They have every point covered. And why do they have all those points covered? Because they have listened to us many times. They've listened to you. They've taken the time. Kenya is 2 hours ahead. They're still seated in their offices. It's bank holiday, and they're doing this for us. So there's so many aspects as to why you should buy a product from, a property from Centum. Now, today is Easter. And as Mary said, there's a discount. You could be buying your first property, second, third, fourth. I know somebody has 4 and someone else has 5, but let's add that 6th property if you have to. But there is a discount. Did you hear?
1%.
There was a 1%.
1%.
Yeah, sign up for a property today, there's a discount. Now, for the ladies who wanted to buy a property together, today could not be better because you still get your 1%. Yes. You still get your 1%. And you could start the process by connecting with Martin and the team and saying, Choreni Sisi, to Konjiani, and in the process, while you're doing the documentation on this side about that limited company, on the other side, they will be preparing everything for you. So the two, there's a part where Martin said about things working concurrently. Yeah. Now, one question that he answered that was very important is about your property, the same one you're buying being the collateral. I mean, correct. I know that's only Centum that does that. Yes. You won't have any other company that's going to come and tell you, we will work away for you. And the way is, Martin is clear. He's one of my best, I'll say, about understanding products, yeah? Selling a product and understanding it. Martin can give you the whole works of every Centum product without having a portfolio or a paper to look at, yeah? So, but important is, you want to buy. So let's say the girls at the back there. So let's challenge them. Girls, ladies there, how much do you do for nails? 40 pounds a week, including all the mothers and aunties here. 40 pounds a week, 40 pounds a month, 300, you've got a house. Yeah? And you don't have the deposit, but you have got 6 months worth of deposit with a SACCO. Go to Centum and talk to them, and they will talk to the SACCO and charge the same property, and you buy the mortgage and just forget the nails for a couple of months. Yeah. So do you see? So today, please, yeah, let's sign up for this. Amen. You see, there's no excuse for nobody to live here without thinking hard about signing and getting that 1% discount. Today is the day. Now, someone asked another question. Why did Centum come here personally? Now, who knows how many times Centum have been to Reading? The CEO, Martin himself, who knows how many times Centum have been to Reading in particular?
Only 3
times in the last 3 years. So every year Centum have visited Reading. Now, there's something about, also for us, working together with Centum is also being cost effective. If they're giving you that 1% discount, jamani, inatoka wapi? Inatoka kwa wao kukata flights, kukuja hapa, wakae kwa hoteli for 1 week. Wasn't that beautiful? That nothing was missed, isn't it? Yeah. Martin didn't feel like he was in Kenya. He felt like he was just there. Yeah. So it's about, it's not the fact that, it's not about Centum not wanting to come here. It's about also being realistic about the costs, but still being in connection with you, with the community. Yeah. And just kudos to your team, to your leaders in the community, because you must be speaking to them. They are speaking back to TKDM. TKDM is speaking back to Centum. Yeah, we haven't ever asked Centum. Centum has been to Gatwick to speak to a group of just 5 people on investment. Did the same, cost everything. 5 people. That's the kind of company they are. You see? So today, everything is covered. I mean, as in, there's no issue that's not covered. Somebody else had actually sent a message on my phone to us about delays. At the beginning, the CEO actually said the adversities can be, it could be you had sickness. Someone talked about you had sickness, but there's also sickness on the other side in Kenya, where there's delays, unforeseen delays. That who is the one who gives the mortgages? They're very good at the fact that once you've signed up for your mortgage, you know you've signed up, but the money is not released to Centum for months and months. And there, if you're 10 in one project, that means that project is delayed. So some of the delays are not Centum's delays, but they're process delays. You see, and even if there's delays, it could be the work, it could be the protocols of government, but at least there's something that we know about Centum. Delivery is always guaranteed. Yeah, yeah. So now we want to give you a paper. Tell us, where do you want this property? I'm talking hata tunafunga sasa. That's why I need to close the door. Yeah. So where? The question now is, where do you start with UMC? Where are you signing yours? Yeah. Next is Kimberly. Where are you signing yours? Hey, please, where are you signing yours? I think the first time we talked about this, my son was one person I was dragging to say, just go sign up for that property. 2,500. Have you been to where those Kasarani, where those properties are? It's converted into a beautiful city. Beautiful city. And guess what? That's one of the most prospective places to live in, because middle-income people, young people, workers, they are the most lucrative to rent houses.
Right.
And guess what? Between 2,500 and 5,000, you have a property. So what's the question? I mean, as in, you guys, let's say now you took one. Ni cash leo, do I want to wanakaa pesa or whatever. I don't know, you know. So I so, you know, sometimes we gamble. Look here, 2023, we were here last year. Not 2023, 2024, we were here also. Yeah. So the last time, okay, so think about it. Martin was here in 2023. And when he talked about that property being started, it was 1 point something, isn't it? Now it's gone up. Well, but somebody have 1 million already. Oh. You were there. Yeah. You were there. So imagine the difference, yeah, between then and now. Most of the properties actually there, they've already increased. So it's a matter of now. And another advantage. Did you hear one of the biggest advantages of Centum? You buy a property, you pull a kubwa, chukua loft, 45 million. Yeah, you've got to beat yourself and say you can afford it. So take that one, 45. But along the way, you find out, okay, imekuwa too hard, nikona school fees, nikona so many other things. What did Martin say? You can downgrade to another one. There's no loss with Centum. There's no loss. There's no loss. So yeah, start big, yeah. You know, open, what does the Bible say? Open your mouth wide, and God will fill it. So open wide. Okay. But if not, start at the level where you think, let's do this one first, let's do another one. Yeah? Right? Okay. So let's just write. What would be what's your thought? I mean, you've been here 2 hours to the most. What's your thought? What property do you think? I think I should not think too much about this one.
Kasarani.
Yeah.
Kasarani.
So it's
one Elma. One Elma.
It's very near. What is it called? And UN. Yeah.
I think Kasarani.
Yeah,
Kasarani.
Houses get full all the time.
And the apartments, are there apartments?
Yeah.
Which one is it? Elma.
You know,
has anybody written?
Anybody who did it in 2020?
The UN near to rivers.
And he doesn't play about it. He goes in, he comes out, he has a house. He goes in, he comes out, he has a house. He doesn't joke about that.
So, yeah, please, those two. Should I go register there? Write my email address and everything. That's why I wrote Kasarani, which is
So and the men out there, please, you're also not forgotten. Ladies, you know these ladies are serious.
Two rivers. I don't know how they got in 2 rivers. What happened to rivers? When a 4-bedroom. 4-bedroom is too big though.
Tulubas kuna mzuri inaitwa Mzizi.
Because come on, do they, when you say UN, do they come with their families?
Welcome to Kenya.
So what does he say?
These ones are not going to decide.
No, we need to do the Thanksgiving. Yeah?
So ladies.
What does he say?
With the ladies, they are gambling.
I give the ladies or do I give it to you? There you go. Mimi nakujua.
So I just you know that
This is what I like to take it. To me, I want to take advantage. And take to hit 2 buses. I don't even see where I'm going.
Oh, you can buy 2 products.
But we want to
Yes.
Some of your Kasarani as a family, they're able to afford.
Yeah. So
Yes, I know it's not.
So all this
To
is
see the
but
cheap
you might
amount
decide, okay,
rental.
make a decision about budget and so that still we will do a special.
You don't want somebody coming in short time lease. Kasarani is not a place where you can do Airbnb.
So I'll talk to you. You know,
Yes, it's for people who want to come with their families. They can go to Nairobi.
That's
You have a tenant. Yes.
Maybe you can release this bill while
She has to give. We don't know what's the problem. Yes. Lima.
Sorry? Centum. Yeah, we'll send you, after you just leave here, you will receive an email or a text. With all the information. It has the details.
People are getting tired. Some people are already gone. They're moving, but I think
It's not all for you. I'm going to get the presentation. This is not important.
When you look socialize, we're here to be done.
The whole presentation, is that what you think?
They didn't say we can scan the QR code.
Yeah, we can ask them to bring.
Okay, I can. What we can do is, yeah, I can show it.
Just put the QR code. Yeah, it's very good. Yeah. Yeah, people can continue. I know we finished now. So yeah.
All right, everyone.
I was done.
To everyone who's online, to everybody who's here, I would like to give a wonderful thanks to the team of Centum. Let's give them a round of applause.
Yes.
To Martin, to Mary, to the CEO, thank you so much for the time that you've granted to us, the people of Reading. Thank you to Alima and our team. Alima, let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's all good. Okay, they're taking the QR code.
Yeah.
So thank you all of you who have been here, the ladies who have helped us in taking the data from all of us.
And to all of us who have taken time here, TKDM, Dr. Lanat, Dr. Lanat.
Professor.
Oh, Professor. Doctor, thank you so much for honoring us. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much. Just 1 minute. So Reading is a very niche community. I believe so. I love Reading so much. We have so many events coming up with the Family Fun Day in August. Do you know the date? Second, the first weekend of the year of August, sorry, which is the 5th. Thank you. And so we welcome you to all of our events. I know we have a representative also from Pay Angel. Thank you so much for being with us. And I believe that together we'll grow and mind your business. You're more than welcome. For each and every one of us, asanteni sana. Have a happy Easter. The session has not finished. We are due to finish till about 11:30. We continue socializing. If you have any more questions, and the team is still here to answer any of your questions. Martin, I don't know if you still want to be here. If there are any more questions. So
can we just come and take a picture with Martin being there and his team? Just a picture.
Yeah, we can all come and take a picture.
Come along. Yes, just a picture.
And make sure you're smiling.
Well, there in Martin's team.
Even the guys who are the chats.
They can come along, please.
They can sit from here.
Yes, yes. So just a photo together. Professor?
Can you come here? You can say. Yep, okay. Everybody, anybody else? Joseph. Very good. Are you ready? Martin, can you hear us? Just wave. Just wave.
Very clear. Very clear.
You need to come along. Yes, come. This picture will be very imbalanced without you.
Yes, 100%.
I talk on a balance. Yeah. Wow. Yes, thank you. Cheers to Centum.
Yeah.
Team Centum.
Team Centum. Yeah. Cheers to Centum. Cheers.
David, you want to be part of the team?
Thank you very much, Matt.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a happy
Martin, we
Easter.
send you some feedback and all the proposals that have been made. We are going to email them, the requisitions. We'll email them to the team where and what all the ladies want. They've made some proposals, we email them.
Okay. Very good.
Tell Martin Bonaya says hi.
Hi, Bonaya.
Who was here?
Well, Martin, I'll see you in July.
Yes, I could see you, Bonaya.
I'll come in
Good to
July.
see you. Yeah, good to see you.
Okay, cheers.
Please.
Yeah, right.